we got some League of Legends to watch. Welcome to BTL Season 16, Week 2, Day 2. We only have one match tonight, but it's a fantastic one. We have DPS versus the Mighty Throws. Both teams, I believe, looking for their first match win on the season. I am your host, Etoe. I'm sure by now, if you've been in the stream, you know my voice. Also, you probably know the voice of this man. We got OldSadBoy here on the play-by-play. And we have SuperBr joining us for the color casting. What is good, boys? Welcome.
What up, what up?
Welcome. What up, what up, what up, what up? And yeah, the bands are already coming in quite fast. They were ready. We had a little bit of a delay. We were trying to get have someone get through traffic, but then we decided to roll with the sub in top lane instead for the Mighty Throws. Yes. And I'm feeling good because hey, the Mavericks just won an incredible game over the Denver Nuggets. And you know, if y'all know me, I'm a Mavericks fan. So
I mean, if you love Team Liquid, you're 3-0'd. I don't even remember who we were playing. They were that bad. It looked clean. It looked clean. But DPS does ban out the Smolder, the Ziggs, and the Ezreal. Possibly 3 bot lane targeted bans. And then they picked the Sivir. They had a plan. They came in with a plan and a plot. Mighty Throws gonna ban out the Vel'Koz, the Xayah, and the Lilia, and gonna first pick the Senna. So a lot of ADC priority already.
Yeah, maybe they know something about Indefiance and they're trying to really narrow down that pool. It's not a bad idea, especially at this level where execution and comfort can mean everything to some of these players. It's kind of good to just narrow down one of the players right off the rip and kind of target them out in that first phase. But Mighty Throws, not phased, immediately locks the Senna top bench.
Yeah, I mean that's been a very high priority everywhere. I think we saw it last week at least once. Don't ask me which game. I can't remember quite that far back. But yeah, no, that has been high priority in pro play, high priority everywhere else. DPS messed up. They made it goofy.
They made it goofy. My draft lawyers. Did they actually make that mistake? They just picked nobody.
They're saying Zen and Ivern.
Okay. Zen and Ivern. So the Ivern is the Zen's out. It's supposed to be Zen's out and Ivern. Yeah. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I mean, yeah. No, they're definitely not both junglers.
Which one's
jungling? They're doing the double jungle.
There's no way.
Do see
I'm terribly confused.
Lock in the victor. Okay. So normally I would save this for like a game 2 or a game 3, but I have maintained this season that the way the ADC is useless and a lot of things are not working, we need to rethink the stale meta. Like, I've been playing this long enough. I remember when like the top lane, mid lane, jungle support or bot lane support jungle, that wasn't always the meta, right? And everybody used to like fiddle around with like what they thought would work and when and how. I think we need to go back to shaking that up. Okay, put your marks person in the mid lane, put your mage in the bot lane, and maybe try a double jungle or like one supportive jungle, one aggressive jungler, that sort of thing. I'm just putting it out.
You're really trying to.
It's just have a loss throw something to a double jungle. I've lost to a double jungle this season. It has happened to me.
Yeah, so no, I've seen it.
Spitting a little bit.
But we do get a Nautilus and a Rumble ban from Mighty Thrones. I've seen that. I actually think if you put your dual lane in the mid lane, and especially if the other team doesn't know, if you put your dual lane in the mid lane and have a high wave clear mage to go bot lane, that mage is going to hit 6 and should still, as long as you can manage to not die to whatever bullshit happens level 2 with the support ADC, you will have a better game. I feel, and your ADC will be useful faster. That is my hot take of the day, and I didn't save it for later.
I like us coming out cooking with the hot takes. I don't think the league community is gonna be too responsive to it, though. I feel like they've got just years, too many years now baked in of like
200 years.
No, you can't not have 2 people in the bot lane. That's where the 2 people go.
See, that's the problem though, and that's why
they would rather play Camille as a support.
Exactly. And that's why we're having all these problems with everybody hating the way their role feels. Okay. Nobody wants to jungle because that's what we need to do. But there is a Viego, there is a Rakan, so now I'm really concerned where that Zen is going though.
Is it like Xin Zhao top? Is it Xin Zhao mid lane? Like lethality Xin Zhao mid?
Yeah, I've seen Xin Zhao mid. Expo used to play a mean Xin Zhao mid.
It's
That
crazy
is
after
way
the.
old.
It felt like yesterday we watched 2 series where it was decided, like, because no one banned out or the second series of yesterday, no one banned out Maokai, so there was 2 games in that series where it was like the team just blue ones Maokai and then wins the game. And Maokai's gonna make it to the whole draft, no ban, no pick, and that's just wild to me for a champ that's that ridiculously powerful. Also, Gragas is also a
We've seen
jungler.
quite a bit of Gragas.
Like, Gragas is the most flexible of the 3 junglers that DPS has picked, but that is still a jungler. Like, yeah, he can go top and mid, but... So maybe
Triple
it's
jungle?
Zinzao top lane, and he's gonna try and
Triple
outcool the
jungle?
Aatrox? Triple jungle, that is...
It could be the full AP Rakan. We have seen that. That was a thing for like a second and a half. This is gonna be very interesting. I am interested in DPS's draft as a person who loves saying the meta is stupid. Let's do some new stuff. I am very interested in what's going on right here.
Unimprison the amphibian, unstick the lick, uninhibit the ribbit, unroll the tadpole, unclog the frog, unload the toad. They are...
The best part about that
my
entire
God.
thing is Tom Tench is a catfish.
Defog the polywog, unbench the kench. Hey, yo, they got the chat's cooking right now.
There's a lot of things going on.
Bet, DP, hold up, let me get that betting stuff going on.
A lot of
I really
things
want to
going
get
on.
into in-game draft because I want to see what the hell is with this Ivern, man. Like,
They
okay,
make the draft so
yes.
interesting that the in-client draft actually matters. It's actually
The
interesting.
in-client draft really matters right now on the left side of the screen because, like, I'm assuming Zinzao top, Ivern jungle, then Gragas mid, and then Sivir Rakan bot lane. But I could be totally wrong.
That would track and make sense. Like, mathematically, that would, add up. But, yeah, no, there's enough shenanigans that could shenan.
I would say, do you, Speaking of shenanigans, there's shenanigans happening in the lobby right now.
Oh, my goodness. What?
Prabhu, don't make me go in there and start it. Oh yeah, again, remember Red Defiance. I mean, Red Strike and Black Fate do live in the same household.
They're gonna. This game is not gonna be decided on the Rift. This is gonna be decided by one of them. We're just gonna have them box, and we'll stream that one instead.
I'm just imagining the Simpsons.
Oh, he kicked him.
The
He
Simpsons
kicked him.
chair meme.
Wait!
Oh
my God!
The
And then we
lobby
lost
is
the
frozen.
lobby.
I hang on. I did say the lobby was gonna freeze. I called this. I called the
We
lobby
lost the
break.
he kicked him from the. Yeah, I can't join.
But
He has
the-
to invite.
We are not professionals, and it's really
Lobby
showing
died.
up today.
well,
I feel like.
Do I have to use a new T code? I'll be so upset if this.
Oh, we can use the same T code. We're
Okay.
back in here.
this is some
Can't join
adventure.
through T code. We have to invite Red Strike.
No, he's back. No, Red Strike owns the lobby now.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I feel like. I feel like we have to have a talk with Black
Hey.
Cafe.
Yeah.
After that one,
Hey
man.
yo.
Black
Hey,
you
yo,
gotta get in here,
Prabhu.
man.
Hold on 1 second. You know what? Hold up. Hey, Prabhu. My guy.
What?
Prabhu.
Huh? Oh, hi.
Hey, did you kick Red Strike from the lobby?
I'm not gonna lie. I was looking for like a little promote to leader button.
Oh,
'cause I
really?
didn't
Where are you?
Leader, and yeah, that was my bad.
Okay, yeah. In the future, please do not kick enemy captains from the lobby because they cannot join back. Do the
Yeah,
do the
my
T code.
bad. I
Yeah,
didn't realize.
we're gonna try not to do that. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, appreciate that. All right,
Of course,
good.
of course.
Yeah, good luck with your game.
Bro, I'm done. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm not gonna stop. I can't stop laughing, man.
Hey yo.
Like,
Hey yo. Hey, what happened to those two? Wait.
where is their team?
Wait. Did you kick them? Please tell me you did it. Okay. No.
All right, you know what? While that's going on, I'm just gonna talk to chat. Hey, chat, what's going on? How you guys doing in chat?
Invites are broken. Alright.
Well-
Okay, now one's back. Alright. Okay.
You guys having a good day, chat?
You know, at this point, I'm surprised GhostSed hasn't made it back.
Yeah, they were. You know, Problem was just doing them a favor. They were trying to buy time for GhostSed to get back.
Yeah. Now this song that I love so much, and I love this Champ Select song, but now it's been going on for so long. This is like, alright. Just, let's do something else, I suppose.
Oh
So we can
my
get back
God.
into client draft. Yeah, I want to
Yeah,
see what
like,
Kyrie. I want to see what
we're
Kyrie
waiting
Irving
so
did.
long. We have to wait so long for client draft, but client draft really matters so much, specifically this game.
Yeah.
All right, now that we got everyone in the lobby, we just need everyone to get in order, figure their lives out a little bit. Oh man, y'all cracking me up.
Oh, is it happening?
Draft.
Oh my God, it's happening. All right.
Let's go. Stevie
We are
Wonder,
not in
we are
order.
Not in order.
Oh my God.
They in fact aren't.
Oh my God.
Stevie Wonder's the
Oh
support.
my
Quaker's
God.
the mid.
Why weren't you there? Why did you start? We weren't in order.
Because the red strikes.
Oh my God. I thought Red Strike had lobby.
Yeah, red strike did have lobby, but DPS is the one that's out of order.
Wasn't even there. Oh my God. Fuck it. I guess I have to do some dragging whenever we get into. That means we don't know who's going where. Wait. Yeah, we don't. We don't know who's going
Oh,
where.
we know. I've got the roster pulled up. We'll see
Assuming, but we don't know who's gonna be in what spot. You could just assume that so and so is playing what role, but we actually don't know if they're not
I'm
in
gonna
order.
assume because DPS isn't subbing anyone. I'm gonna assume they're all going to their standard spots. All right. Yeah, this will be on the power rankings for next week. Both you guys are
It gets
going,
worse
but
every
default.
passing second. This will be in the
Default,
PR
you
for
guys are
next
going to 7 and 8. I don't care about records.
Stevie's the one that wrote the power records for this, the power rankings for this week.
Listen, Stevie, you got to put yourself at 7. That's just how it is. You can put Mighty Throws at 8 though. It's all good.
Wait, are they not in LCS order?
No, they're not.
No.
That's gonna make it even stupider.
Yes. Yeah.
Was Kazakhs picked in this? No.
No, Kazakhs was
Black
not-
Fate, I swear to God, if you.
Why are we hovering
I was about
Kazakhs?
to say, I swear to God.
So Black Fate gonna go ahead and getting back to analysis, I think. Black Fate gonna go ahead and take the Jinzhou, which tells me
Zen Jungle?
Well, they
yeah,
missed-
that's what you'd assume, huh?
You would
But
think.
they
You would
missed
think,
it.
right? Yeah.
Where is the Ivern going? Cause now is the Ivern mid? Are we
Yeah,
getting
see,
mid?
No, it's an Ivern support,
Ivan
right?
support, certainly. Wait, but they have Rakan.
Where are they putting the Rakan?
But they have Rakan.
It's the AP Rakan mid.
AP
But they
Rakan
don't have
is-
Alexander.
I will.
He's going top.
No.
Auburn's going top. Wait.
No.
Wait. Where does
No,
Cracker
Krieger-
play for them?
It's Ivern. It's Ivern mid, baby. It's Ivern mid.
Is Cracker mid
yeah.
for them this
Krieger's
season?
the mid laner. Krieger's the mid
Okay, he's been
laner.
top for them in the past.
No.
They could.
way.
I mean, they could swap. I can't stop them from swapping. I suppose.
I'm supposed to. No one's in LCS order. Holy shit, guys.
This is. Things are happening. Things are happening. And
Honestly, up until this specific game,
It's
you
just
could have
lucky that-
convinced me. You could have convinced me everyone here was a professional, that we all knew what we were doing. Not any longer. It's a farce.
These
It's all over.
are two of the most senior teams in BTL too. I feel like your bad connection in Defiance, Red Shack have all been playing BTL for like at least 2 years. For like 4 seasons, 4 or 5 seasons. So they're just
See, what happened was
I'm not
we had-
mad.
we had week
disappointed.
one. We had to give you our best impression. You're like, oh, okay, these are fine, upstanding League of Legends players.
Man, I casted that first Sunday with OldSadBoy. I'm like, man, these guys, like, they run a good production. I'm loving this. This is great.
Yeah.
They don't get to them, we're like, F
we
it.
ran a good production.
Nothing matters.
Hey, we
I
try our
admit.
best with the production. I mean, these players wild.
We just had it. Yeah, we just.
Chat, none of this is on any of the 3 of us in this call. You can blame whoever you want on the 2 teams. I don't care. I refuse to take credit for anything that's happened so far. We are gonna go to a short break. We'll compose ourselves. We'll get ready.
I make
we'll
no
come
promises on composing myself.
Yeah, I need to take
So
a
during the
breather.
break, what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch this Kyrie Irving bucket, y'all. Did y'all see this? Oh wait, where is it? Where is it? Yeah, yo, did y'all see this?
I did not.
Look at this shit. The game's tied 105 to 105. Can y'all even see that? Yeah. Hold up. Yeah, the game's tied 105 to 105 against Denver.
Leave it inbound. Leva looking in for Irving. Irving for the win. A southpaw finish from Kyrie Irving.
Running lefty, bro. Kyrie's insane.
Looking in for Irving. Leva looking in for Irving.
This is TikTok.
Irving for
TikTok
the
said
win.
we're done with the 90s. And this man brought back a 1960s running lefty hook. I was TikTok.
I can't believe we
George
won this
golden
game.
age of basketball,
George
man.
Miking
We done with the 90s. Ladies and gentlemen, we done with the 90s.
with that Bob Pettit. No. You can't say we done with
Put
the
it in this
90s
clip.
and have this man pull out a sky hook to win a game.
crazy.
No.
Go to the end of that clip, and Luka Doncic's reaction is exactly me right now. Like, I don't really know what's happening, but I'm happy about it, I think.
Unacceptable.
Oh, my goodness.
You can't have it
Mighty
both ways.
throws. How do I? What's good? Mighty throws are gonna be MIT. That's what we're gonna sort them to.
I think neither team gets bans next game. You guys are playing blind pick now.
That would actually get worse.
Yeah.
It would be that would be awful.
Go Indy. Indy. What? Where do you see Indy here?
He's just they're just letting you know.
Yeah,
a Pacers fan.
Yeah, just a Pacers fan, you know. Hey, okay, hell yeah. I mean, yeah, Pacers is fantastic. Tyrese Halliburton and them boys, they going crazy. Anyways, we are
aren't they like
positive. Aren't they like the what?
Aren't they gonna wind up like the 8th seed or the 9th seed in
Probably
the East?
something
Am I
like
wrong?
that. But hey, they almost won the in-season tournament. And if the Lakers are any sign, that in-season tournament didn't mean shit. But, you know, hey, it was
It was fun.
it was fun. All right, are you guys positive 5?
Positive 5.
I'm not even in.
Oh, shit. Hell yeah. We got some riot stuff there going as well. We love that.
I am at 0%. It's
No.
been at 0. Like, I'm just hanging out here. looking at the skins. Very, very nice skins going on. No Rakan skin though. So
Yeah,
Oh,
obviously-
in Defiance. In Defiance. In D. Okay. Find a clip of
Hey,
Jordan's
there we
left
go.
hand. Yo, what's so funny about that? One of Michael Jordan's most famous clips of all time is him switching from his right hand to his left hand to finish a layup midair. That's like one of the most famous Michael Jordan clips of all time.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I need to comment on this because I am obviously old. Okay, so first of all, the whole reason that everybody was like, "Oh my God, Michael Jordan," is because he was like the first highly athletic shooting guard who could go right to left.
It's a large part
And
of his game.
now, 30 years later, I have to hear people go, Jordan couldn't go left. And I remember the craziest thing was that Jordan could take 2 dribbles left. What is going on? I have lived so long that things that were new are now not only old, but then they're wrong.
Yeah.
You're getting. They're just trying to gaslight you. Like, what? 7 championships, 6 championships, or whatever. That's not that good. I mean,
And
think
somebody
about
else
it.
was like, do you ever see him go left on the fadeaway? And I'm like, I have a compilation in my mind I can play for you of Jordan going left on the fadeaway. What are you talking about?
Absolutely.
I can tell
ridiculous.
you where I
BTL,
was.
aka Barbershop Talk, Twitch League.
I am paused at 5 seconds.
All right. So, Bren, you here?
We are ready to go.
All right, let's get into hopefully a game of League of Legends. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. 6, 7, 8, 9,
I'm all
10,
synced.
11. Fantastic. Let's get into. I know it's 5:50 I know it's 6:50, but let's get into our first game of the night between DPS and the Mighty Throws.
Right, we are into game 1. One of the problems that I'm already going to have is I'm trying to rearrange the scoreboard, and it's not rearranging for me like I want it
Yeah.
to.
I've got it nice and rearranged, and I'm just. I'm looking at it. I don't know, man.
Interesting things are occurring, but yes, on top of which is a 5 person going on here from Mighty Throws. There's a 5 point coming out from DPS. Are they moving slow to everyone else? Okay. They appear to be moving at a slower speed than normal?
Did you accidentally click the minus button?
No, it's at 1x, but it's just like I feel like they should be moving faster.
They're getting stuck on Kench, man. He's just too big.
I don't know. Maybe
I'm sorry, Kench. I don't mean to shame you like that. Tom Kench is cool.
I don't know. Maybe I got too hyped up. But Black Fate starting bot side. I think says she thinks I'm just a zoomer. I have a zoomer. I have a zoomer. He eats all my food. Right? That's the youth.
That's
the
the
youth.
No, I can confirm. That is what I do. I eat all the food.
I was so
It's
confused.
food.
I was like, what do you mean you have a zoomer? And then I understand
But yeah,
that.
no, that's what my generation does. We eat a lot.
Eats all my food. Literally like a whole loaf of bread over a weekend. And then eats like...
No way you say that as I stare over and I see half my loaf of bread that I bought yesterday.
See? No, that's what they do. Eat all your food. Just the Shane Gillis grilled cheese joke, but for realsies. Just grilled cheeses in the middle of the night. Why? Anyway, that's neither here nor there, but it is expensive. But there is regular League of Legends going on mostly. I am actually very concerned how this Ivern is going to scale into a later portion of the game, but it's keeping up with CS currently. That is going to be an entrance and an exit coming in from Stevie Wonders. Did not land, but a very nice trade there to Mr. Krabs. Gonna not get pulled in by the chains, even though he had already used the body slam to go in. That's it. There's not any For the weirdness there's not a lot of weirdness in the summoner spells and in the keystones.
Yeah, pretty standard. As far as as far as DPS's draft can get, it's pretty standard. I ended up mixing. Oh, we have the flash,
Uh-oh.
but it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, got
Nico's
knocked up
going
is
down.
gonna go down. That is first blood from Mr. Krabs. Very well done by DPS. the knock up right as the flash happens. That feels very, very bad.
Yeah, it's not great for him, and that's gonna put Mr. Krabs really far ahead. Oof. Sorry, the whole startup sequence has me all sorts off my game. But paired with that first strike, that extra gold from that, he's gonna be pretty happy with his lot right now. Decent amount of gold. He'll be able to hopefully, yeah, you'll see he goes back and gets a tier. So he's not gonna struggle with mana in lane, and he's gonna have a dark seal. He's gonna try and press that advantage.
You know, I'm a big fan of the behind Dark Seal, where you're like, meh, I'm behind. We'll see what happens. Let's get this Dark Seal. But we do have Sad Dragon Man already on the bot side. Is going to be plotting his back, though. Maybe looking to gank. I don't think he was spotted, so they don't know he's actually there. He walked all the way around, was not seen on that ward, but is just going to go ahead and back. It is a fasting Senna for Indefiance and a farming Tom Kinch for Red Strike. And Tom Kinch actually farming pretty reliably well. A lot of times we see these supports and they aren't used to farming, aren't good at it. And Tom Kinch is maybe not the easiest to farm on if you all things considered.
Yeah, well, they normally you see people struggle with the farming Tom Kench because supports aren't necessarily used to farming, and let alone now you're on a character that's not necessarily easy to farm on. Like, they're not an ADC, they don't have like many tools to help them farm, but he is keeping up pretty admirably, and that's going to be very big. The amount of stats you have as an early level Tom Kench is very high, and then even though you're the support, because you're farming, you have so much economy, you're able to get very tanky. It's kind of a boon for your team. You're able to create a lot of extra space that most supports can't.
That is very, very true. However, I am okay. So here's my worry, my question, my thought for
Hit me with it.
DPS has champions that don't. Ooh, that is going to be that Kim Tech Dragon taken by Sad Dragon Man. Very nice and interesting pathing. He literally came bot for a gank, backed, went back to the base, took a camp, and then took Dragon. All on bot side. Has basically been around his bot side for the last like minute and a half, 2 minutes, just helping him out. Good man. Good jungler. Unless you're a top laner. Top laners are used to being ignored though. But it looks like there's a gank. Oh, Kugert already up in this top side here, and is going to be engaging onto Wish. Wish is going to get stunned, is going to get knocked up, is going to get the gravity well, but he is ignited. Oh, there is going to be Sad Dragon Man. That is going to be a kill, though. Daisy going to do the work. Sad Dragon Man now has to be careful. Is going to get knocked up again. He's going to get stunned. It's going to be a double kill. Kugert on the Ivern now has 2 stacks on his Dark Seal.
Yeah, and Ivern, isn't really a champion before 6. It's as some friends of mine like to say, Ivern is not actually the champion. Daisy's the champion. Ivern's just an ability. It just feels so true when you see a fight like that where Daisy gets down, immediately picks up a double kill. Really, really strong start for Quager in the mid lane.
Was just about to say I worry about how the late game is going to go, but Indefiance taking a stupid amount of damage there. Your bad connection and Stevie Wonder's getting a great trade. Indefiance gets taken super low. It's going to heal up a bunch. But yeah, on the other side, there's a roam coming to the bot side from the jungler mid laner of Mighty Throws. But the bot lane has already ran away. They saw him. They knew. And now, oh no, your bad connection. Never mind.
No.
Your bad connection might be going. He's gonna get away. You had to use the flash and the ghost. I thought they knew. I thought they were locked in, but they were actually not. They just. Everybody had the same idea at the same time for the wrong way. But yeah, I'm worried about the late game. But I mean, if Ivern and Gragas just absolutely destroy, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Ivern definitely not the most scaling of champions. Generally, you see Ivern jungles are always going enchanter items because the late game, even Daisy damage doesn't matter that much. So you just try and buff up your team. The shields can get really ridiculous. But AP Ivern is going to stay fairly relevant a lot longer than enchanter Ivern does at least. And that extra damage can be just enough, especially when you have a lot of access tools. They have Zinzao. They have the, the explosive cask that can disrupt teams. So they've got a lot of ways to access the enemy backline, and that can be very important. So even if the damage doesn't keep scaling, they're a very disruptive team, and that can be to their benefit.
I mean, that is true, but the best CC is still death. And nothing spells death quite like a late game Senna most of the time. But Sad Dragon Man forced to use the Heartbreaker to get away. Daisy is just slapping Wish. It's going to be close. Wish is going to have to flash away.
Yeah, now Wish, no spells. Gonna have to back here. Quaker's gonna press the advantage. This is getting a bit of a ridiculous gold lead because now it's gonna be...
Black Fate on Sad Dragon Man. Sad Dragon Man does not have his ultimate and now does not have color in his screen. It's just a bad time. Stevie Wonders goes in, goes out. But yeah, Black Fate able to catch him out after they kind of forced him off of the river. This is very interesting. Ooh, and Mr. Krabs is going to force Makolo. Makolo flashes away from the explosive cask, otherwise probably would have gone down as well. And Black Fate looking for that dive. Makolo is going to be able to get away, though.
Gives Mikolo enough movement speed to just walk away to that second tower. Really, really hurts. I mean, what an unfortunate trade for Mikolo. Uses Flash, uses World Ender. Doesn't even get damage down into Mr. Krabs. He's still full health.
Qgurt is just fighting Wish in the middle of the ultimate, not even worried. But now we see Stevie Wonders and Sad Dragon Man. Sad Dragon Man can win the 1v1 against Rakan for the moment. But now comes the super gank, and that's going to be Wish going down. Qgurt is on a killing spree. Already has the Imperial Mandate as well. What the heck?
Yes, is an Enchanter Ivern. They're just using the extra AP from the Dark Seal to essentially snowball and stay relevant with damage, even though they're building Enchanter items. And so this actually turns out to be not as bad as you think, because it's not. It's still bad. Like, it's still terrible. But a lot of this gold is onto an Enchanter, so you feel a little better about it. A little bit, not much.
And having seen what I've seen, Qgurt, though, might be in trouble now. Is going to get the root onto Red Strike, and that's going to be Daisy. Is just hanging out. He's going to get eaten there. Daisy's still going to knock up in Defiance. Qgurt is exhausted, is going to dash in, is going to flash out. Everybody gets knocked up by Daisy. Qgurt is still alive. And Defiance is getting whooped. Daisy's going to get the knock up, not the kill quite yet. Red Strike is trying to live now. Red Strike doesn't have any mana, and there's going to be Sad Dragon Man. Qgurt is still alive. 1v3. The explosive cast from Mr. Krabs after the teleport. That's going to be 2 kills for the Gragas.
Yeah, that's almost a little sad. That's a product of a few things. One, early game Senna, even with the serrated Dirk, just doesn't do any damage. 2, Enchanter Ivern has a ridiculous amount of shielding, even early on.
They're going on to Wish.
Gonna go down
Your
too.
bad connection is going to be able to spell shield the gravity well, and it does not matter. Wish is dead. That's it.
Well, I mean, what a disastrous game so far for Mighty Throws. That we're unable to 1v3 the Ivern by so much time. So Mr. Krabs just teleports down at this point, seeing all the free kills. And now the actual AP threat of the first strike Gragas has 3 kills, and that's really, really bad.
The worst part is they didn't kill Qgurt. Qgurt got all of and he's fighting Mikolo. Mikolo is going to use the World Ender. Qgurt is going to get the stun. There's Daisy. Oh, no. Is going to have to walk away. But he just teleported to top lane. Like, he backed and teleported to top lane. It was fine. And that's going to be the knockup on the Makolo and the little
Oh my
jabby jab from Black Fate. And now there's a 3-0 and 3-9 stack.
Yeah, the wind
Ivern.
becomes lightning comes out, and like dust in the wind, Makolo is gray screened once again. It's just a really rough game. A 5K gold lead already out here in 13 minutes. I cannot express to you just how ridiculous that is as a number. It feels like people keep seeing Quaker and they're like, it's Ivern. This guy doesn't do any damage. And they forget that Daisy's on a kind of ridiculously short timer. And they're like, he's low. I'm going to get him. And then out comes Daisy. Immediately a bunch of damage comes out, a bunch of CC.
Oh.
It keeps happening. Eventually, you have to learn.
Here we go. Red Strike alone is going to get ignited. Now the rest of the team shows up. That is going to be the Heartbreaker being used by Sad Dragon Man, or at least it looked like it. Never mind. That was not it. That was just a stun. Everybody walks away. A couple ultimates used there, but nothing too major. There are 2 dragons. Mighty Throws has gotten 2 dragons. They have a win condition and win condition. But
yeah,
it might be a little slim.
The problem with that is that it is a mountain soul, and it's not the worst soul in the world. Because Kentech, man, that just is such a painful soul. The extra shielding will be nice, but it's not as hard of a win condition as some of the more impactful souls like Hextech or Infernal are, or even Cloud. You know, a lot of times think Cloud is boring because all it does, it gives you move speed on the soul effect, but that can be super impactful for a lot of these champions.
Why are you targeting me like this? Why are you targeting me like this? I've literally said that multiple times. But
Cloud is a big game winner a lot of the time, actually. Cloud's still one of the highest win rates amongst all of the souls.
Talk to me about your stupid math. Your bad connection trying to get away from Red Strike is going to be able to escape with just the ghost on the other side. Mr. Krabs trying to get on the Wish. Wish is going to get away, as is your bad connection, going to dodge the root out from Cinema. That is going to be first tower, actually second tower. First tower went down top side, second tower going down bot side. Mr. Krabs able to take it. Hubert looking at the Rift Herald. More importantly, he can solo that Rift Herald if he wants to, but doesn't want to. Mr. Krabs trying to get away from Sad Dragon Man. That's the Heartbreaker for real this time, as well as the World Ender from Makolo. Mr. Krabs is fine. Gragas walks away.
Has to be doing a number on Mighty Throws' mental. Just sitting there watching over and over and over as the enemy team just escapes from you. You get them down, you think you have a good play, but they just constantly get out unpunished.
Ooh, they are able to get some damage on them. The Crescent Strike is going to get Black Fade out for the moment. Red Strike is going to go in, but that's a good support right there. Stevie Wonders is going to help them get that Dragon Man, but your bad connection now trying to walk away. Mr. Krabs is fighting Makolo and Red Strike. So that is a 2-for-1. That's Mighty Throws trying to not throw, trying to reverse throw. I think they call that winning.
It's good to get something on the map. I think the worst thing you can do when you're just drastically behind like this is to sit and bleed out and not attempt to make plays. In this instance, it works out for them. They're able to pick up essentially a 3-for-1 trade as well as a shutdown onto Mr. Krabs. That's a lot of gold to kind of bring it back. The gold lead down to only a 5,000 gold lead, only a 5,000 gold lead at 15 minutes, but better than it was before, and prevents a dragon going to the side of a DPS, which, like we talked about, that soul sweep is kind of the soul win condition for Mighty Throws right now.
2 of those shutdowns went to Wish. Extra 500 gold for that Victor. Very, very useful. That said, the setup in here, in this corridor, still belongs to DPS, but they are trying to rush down Black Fate. Black Fate is going to live. Daisy's going to do work. Your back connection is going to be able to take down 1, and it looks like Red Strike is going to be the 2. Is going to barely get away with the flash. There is a whole lot of running, a whole lot of low health bars, but there it is. There's the second kill. Your bad connection is going to get it. Black Fate chasing in Defiance is going to get it. That's going to be the 3rd kill, and there are 3 members of Mighty Throws down, but the jungler is down for DPS.
Yeah. Fate got a little too overzealous. I know you want to kill the enemy ADC. You don't want to leave them up, but you're the jungler, man. You kind of have to stay up. I guess it doesn't matter if Viego just he's going to wander away. He's not going to even try for this steal. So it does end up being a dragon anyways for DPS. For a second, it looked like they were getting overconfident, but it looks like they know exactly how much, especially with Quaker there. That's been the big difference between that fight and the previous fight, is that Quaker was there, and Daisy is just so impactful at this point in the game.
Very much so, like the mirror version of the Maiden, like Yorick's Maiden, but like the good version. You know what I mean? Like good alignment-wise, not good like function-wise.
No, both of them are like, both of them definitely, both champs very reliant on the summon. It is the good aligned Maiden here for Quaker. Quaker definitely needs, he needs Daisy to come and be his friend. Otherwise, he's not quite a full champion. The big thing is that it forces Mighty Throws onto the back foot. If you look at their composition, it's not one that really wants to be playing backwards. You have the Tom Kench, you have the Ruined Grasp, I believe, is the stun from Viego. You have the Aatrox. You really want to be going forward with that composition and forcing yourselves into the backline and getting picks, and they just cannot do that with tools like Daisy and Crescent.
We will see what happens, but that is going to be the Rift Herald started. A whole lot of people getting knocked up. Mikolo is going to use the ultimate as well as the Dawning Shadows coming over across. Stevie Wonders is going to go down, but that's the support. There's the explosive cast, and that is going to be Wish going down. Mr. Krabs is going to get one side. Dragon Man is going to go down. That's going to be two. The Rift Herald goes down as well. Mr. Krabs chasing down. Oh, Wish did not go down until just now. Wish had to flash away. It was like a swap. Wish flashed away right as Sad Dragon Man stood there. And that is, oh my god, and Defiance took so much damage there from just the Q and the body slam. That Gragas is super strong. So they were winning that fight when it was a 5v4, but then it turned into a 5v5.
Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, DPS just has such a disruptive composition. It doesn't matter that they're not great scalers when they're ahead by this much this early. Almost a 10,000 gold lead at this point in the game is just oppressive. Like they're starving the enemy team. They're out farming them. They're out objectiving them now. They obviously have more kills. And when you can disrupt, that composition that wants to go forward on the other side. Not only do they have to play backwards because you're ahead, if while they're playing backwards, you can disrupt them even further. You can stop them very handily. They just have so many tools, so much backline access. I don't think this entire game are Mighty Throws going to win a 5v5 fight, unless the game goes very, very long and the Senna becomes very, very powerful. They need to try something different.
Well, I don't know that it's going to go that long. They are already running out of towers. They've lost half of them. Or close to half of them. Maybe 40%. I'm no mathematician. But they're missing some towers. Okay, they're missing
there's
5
11
of them.
towers in the game. Yeah, so they're missing most of they're missing near half their towers.
But the good part is Gragas is already at like 4.5 items. He can only get but so much stronger.
Eventually he'll stop getting stronger, that is true, until he upgrades the Dark Seal into Medjai's like Quaker has. Quaker hasn't died yet, has the Leandries now, a bit. I guess I was lying when I said he's still going to go Enchanter Ivor, and he said, I'm so far ahead, I might as well go AP. They're going to try and really snowball that lead, and yeah, if he, eventually you'd say, Mr. Krabs can't get any stronger, and then he's going to build the Medjai's and get stronger anyways. But speaking of Mr. Krabs getting stronger.
Wish is going to get body slammed, going to get deleted. Just bloop, 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 bye.
First strike is insane. I wish I could see exactly how much damage it's done so far. It must be like in the high hundreds.
Sad Dragon Man getting knocked up a lot, getting bopped up with that keg. I've worked at bars. I've had to carry kegs. They're heavy as crap. I cannot imagine getting hit with one. That can't be it.
Not a pleasant experience. I guess we'll have to ask a few of the members of Mighty Throws how it felt at some point, but we might not have a chance.
Red Strike trying to get away is just going to get autoed on the other side. Indefiance still trying to escape, is going to get bopped. again with the keg, forced to use the flash and the ghost. Red Strike is gonna live, and just like that, the Baron is being started. 2 members already have in the back, and those are the 2 members that do not have teleport. Mighty Throws is going to need a mighty throw out of DPS, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's definitely looking that way. I really don't see the avenue. You never want to say it's over till it is, lest the comeback finally happen and you look a little silly. But the avenue, the margin for error is already passed. The avenues for victory are getting narrower and narrower.
So the dragon is going to be taken. That is going to be a 3rd dragon. But now there's lots and lots of members here. And
Yeah,
Mr. Krabs is going to get rooted, but he does not care. Makolo loses 60% of his health just right there. Mr. Krabs still working forward. Is going to get the body slam and the kill. The Rift Herald being used by your bad connection there is going to get away from Red Strike and looks like it's going to be able to get the tower. They're trying to get the Dancing Shelly. I think Wish is going to be forced to flash to get away from the knockup. He's going to get knocked in by the explosive cast, and Q-Grid is going to get another kill. In the meantime, in the mid lane, that's going to be the inhibitor going down to your bad connection, who's like,
right?
I'm having fun while the rest of my team is getting kills. Bot lane inhibitor tower going down. Shelly did get killed. We will not get a Dancing Shelly. Bot lane inhibitor is going to go down. There's a whole lot of Void Mites, a whole lot of minions, and a whole lot of members of DPS. And I don't know what else happens. Red Strike is going to go down. Sadman is going to go down. Makolo's going to go down.
Shout out. Yo, your bad connection. Good job on the Rift Herald piloting, man. I've seen way too many professional players not know what they're doing with that thing, slam it straight into a wall. He had a nice little turnaround. Good job,
true.
man.
That is true. He was going skirt. He hit what?
Okay, analysis of that game. I think maybe the pre-lobby weirdness was a bit of maybe a bit of a mental game. Maybe Black Fate knew what he was doing. He was setting it up to get Mighty Throws off their game. My goodness, that was. I mean, 24-minute game speaks for itself. The damage speaks for itself.
That's so sometimes we have a 24-minute game where like 2 things went wrong and that was the game. Right? Where it's like, it's kind of a game, and then they win a big 5v5, they take Baron and they just run it down and end. That wasn't that. That was not like there was some excitement and then the game was over. That was, they loaded in, they started winning, and then the game
stopped winning. Yeah, there was no in between. They just kept going and kept going. I mean, good on them. That's how you have to play those compositions. Too often, I see the Xinjiao is how I've been told it's supposed to be pronounced. My apologies. So Xinjiao gets picked up and not utilized properly. You need to make plays early. You need to make them often. You really need to press that tempo, and they really drafted around that. We questioned if the Ivern pickup would be worth it. Clearly, it was, despite the lower damage numbers compared to some of his teammates. I'm tempted to say he had some of the most impact this game. That 1v3 in the bot side was just ridiculous, man. This game, it's hard to analyze when it's so one-sided like this. I'm hoping a big switch up in strategy from Mighty Throws in game 2.
How do you pivot from that? That's actually my bigger question. If a team throws out a comp or that has a champion you just have never seen before, or I shouldn't say have never seen before, a champ playing a way you've never seen before, and you don't know what to do, what is the pivot? I mean, you ban it, but is there really a functional pivot?
You're gonna have to sacrifice a ban, that's for sure. The other thing I would say is maybe play a little bit more standard to the meta. I think they'll have GhostZed back, so everyone will be in their primary positions again. All in all, I think you're gonna be on blue side. If they don't ban out the Maokai, you go ahead and pick that up for yourself, and then from there you just try and take as many OPs or comfort picks as you can grab. and just try and get back to basics. That's the only real way you can recover from that. Ultimate,
maybe, probably.
yeah. We'll have to see. We'll
Yeah.
have to see.
We will find out shortly. We'll be back with game 2 of DPS versus Mighty Throws. Do not go anywhere. Obviously, excitement is afoot.
I'm reaching out, 'cause I cannot fight this feeling anymore. Feels like I've been blown away. I'm pushing out, we're not running round in circles anymore. Feels like I've been blown away, and I won't do it again. No, 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 I won't do it again. No, 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 I won't do it again. And I won't do it again. And I won't do it again. These words won't get through to me when I'm not listening. These words are no use, no telling me, is this worth risking? And I won't do it again. I'm reaching out, 'cause I cannot fight this feeling anymore. Feels like I've been blown away. I'm pushing out, we're not running round in circles anymore. Feels like I've been blown away, and I won't do it again. No, 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 I won't do it again. No, 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 and I won't do it again. And I won't do it again. It's contagious. Tell me, do you feel it too? Mr. Magician, tricking me to loving you. Turning pages, looking for something new. But the rain is stopping me from pulling through. I'm gonna take a deep breath, cut the loving in two. Cause I'm needing nothing, coming straight there from you. I'm gonna take a deep breath, cut the loving in two. Cause I'm needing nothing. Oh, Mr. Magician, your trickery is fine. Mr. Magician, I want you to be mine. Mr. Magician, you're calling out my spine. Mr. Magician, I want you to be mine. No. It's tradition for you to fall in love with me. I had a vision, one that you could never see. Hearing voices, tell me, do you hear them too?
What I've seen, Hubert though might be in trouble now. Is gonna get the root onto Red Strike, and that's gonna be Daisy. Is just hanging out. He's gonna get eaten there. Daisy's still gonna knock up in Defiance. Hubert is exhausted. Is gonna dash in. Is gonna flash out. Everybody gets knocked up by Daisy. Hubert is still alive. And Defiance is getting whooped. Daisy's gonna get the knockup, not the kill quite yet. Red Strike is trying to live now. Red Strike doesn't have any mana, and there's gonna be Sad Dragon Man. Hubert is still alive. 1v3. The explosive dash from Mr. Scraps after the teleport. That's gonna be 2 kills for the Rockets. And having seen what I've seen, Hubert though might be in trouble now. Is gonna get the root onto Red Strike, and that's gonna be Daisy. Is just hanging out. He's gonna get eaten there. Daisy's still gonna knock up in Defiance. Hubert is exhausted. Is gonna dash in. Is gonna flash out. Everybody gets knocked up by Daisy. Hubert is still alive. And Defiance is getting whooped. Daisy's gonna get the knockup, not the kill quite yet. Red Strike is trying to live now. Red Strike doesn't have any mana, and there's gonna be Sad Dragon Man. Hubert is still alive. 1v3. The explosive dash from Mr. Scraps after the teleport. That's gonna be 2 kills for the Rockets. And having seen what I've seen, Hubert though might be in trouble now. Is gonna get the root onto Red Strike, and that's gonna be Daisy. Is just hanging out. He's gonna get eaten there. Daisy's still gonna knock up in Defiance. Hubert is exhausted. Is gonna dash in. Is gonna flash out. Everybody gets knocked up by Daisy. Hubert is still alive. And Defiance is getting whooped. Daisy's gonna get the knockup, not the kill quite yet. Red Strike is trying to live now. Red Strike doesn't have any mana, and there's gonna be Sad Dragon Man. Hubert is still alive. 1v3. The explosive dash from Mr. Scraps after the teleport. That's gonna be 2 kills for the Rockets. And having seen what I've seen, Hubert though might be in trouble now. Is gonna get the root onto Red Strike, and that's gonna be Daisy. Is just hanging out. He's gonna get eaten there. Daisy's still gonna knock up in Defiance.
Going. You guys have the links?
Yes.
Okay, then here we are, game 2 draft. After that that game that happened, that DPS did get a victory in. It was quite crazy. I just showed you guys the highlight of that Ivern who Ivern got a ban, baby. They drew the Ivern ban. That's crazy. Here we are into game 2. What do you, yeah.
One day, I will tell my children.
Yeah. And my
About the
children's
Ivern.
children.
Actually, my child does not like these. Apparently we all get too loud when the tournaments happen. So she doesn't want to hear about the Ivern mid. She already heard about the Ivern mid and hated it. But that is going to be Mighty Throws locking in the Karma, who is also broken, but at least in ways that we are already aware of.
Yeah, it's definitely a very standard pick, which, I mean, Mighty Throws had a fairly standard draft last time. Sometimes you can defeat the standard meta by just being willing to get a little weird. DPS gonna bring out the Sivir again. It's kind of a unique ADC preference. You don't see a lot of people willingly playing the Sivir anymore. It's great for engages. The Sivir and the Rakan synergize quite well. So I like to see them continue it. We talked about how the disruption the DPS had. They're able to move so quick and engage and layer all of their CC. They had unlimited access to whichever of the carries on Mighty Throws they wanted to go after. They're gonna try and continue that. And the Jhin coming out for Mighty Throws.
There you go. You wanted disruption. You got a Volibear. Volibear's disruption.
I don't know if I'm a fan of the Volibear. Like, I see it come out, and I'm always so whelmed by Volibear.
We do have the Jarvan come in from DPS. This is looking much more like a standard your bad connection comp. We were talking about this in the break. For those of you who don't know or who weren't here, was it last season or 2 seasons ago, when he was basically like, I think he was here for playoffs. He was like, we had an expanded desk, and he was explaining like the precise way that you should draft every time. That obviously we did not get game 1. So I am very interested in seeing if we're gonna get that in game 2. But there is a TF ban that did not go through
TF
there.
ban that, yeah, okay, yeah. We're getting word that is TF. And Grog is gonna be banned out. They're just kind of targeting what they got hit with last game, and that's okay. I think that's fine. Force them to
Use a different cheese.
Yeah, force them to play something different, beat you with something different. Don't let them do the same thing to you again. It's funny, again, Maokai seeming to just slip through the cracks here, because if that Karma goes support for Mighty Throws, I'm still high on the Maokai. I still like him quite a bit. I think you can even pair him with the Sivir. I don't know if he pairs with the Jhin quite as well. And Galio gonna be banned out. Is Quaker a Galio player?
I believe so. To be fair, I've seen Quagert play for long enough that I'm pretty sure I've seen him play everything that has ever been.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him play
At the same time, it's like, was Quaker a Ivern player? I don't know. Never seen him before, but at this point, I just don't doubt the man.
Yeah, we saw. You know what? Can't count it out. They just they don't want to see the Galio, which. Okay. Ooh, Urgot. Okay,
yeah.
Yes. Willing to get definitely non-standard. I mean, it's a fit for like it's a top lane bruiser, but in terms of your high level play, you don't see a number of Urgots most of the time, because he definitely has some very distinct weaknesses. But at the same time, I know some people that can play the hell out of Urgot, and he's a menace when he gets going.
This is very, very true. Very true. And I assume that's because they think it's Urgot into Volibear and know what to do about it. I'm not sure. Oh, but it's not. I don't know how that matchup goes. I actually haven't seen that in like 3 years.
I am gonna look how that matchup goes.
This is very interesting. However, again, like I was saying, this is more the standard. Yes, this is what I expected in a draft with your bad connections. This is much more what we've seen from his teams previously. You got an ADC, you got a mage, you got 1.5 tanks. This is exactly what I was expecting. This is...
So I'm looking, Urgot doesn't have a lot of volatility in his, like, counterplay. A lot of his matchups hover around 49 to 50% at Emerald Plus. So, yeah, the Darius sits at a 49.8% win rate across 2,300 games.
At Emerald Plus, what kind of madness are you speaking?
At Emerald Plus, that's about where our league sits. Why would I not search for that skill level?
That's made up. Those people aren't real. Those are bots.
there's no one above Emerald, chat. It's fine. It's fine. Silver 4 is an acceptable rank. It is okay.
It better be. It better be. Okay.
I certainly hope it is an acceptable rank.
Look. When they started adding ranks above plat, that's when League of Legends went downhill.
That's when we lost it. Anyways, I want to call out the Xerath pick for DPS. I really like that because I saw the Veigar come out as the opposing mid laner. That Karma did end up being the support. And I really, really like the Xerath pick to counter the Veigar. It really outranges him, and he's going to just be kind of unassailable. One of the main ways you can farm stacks is, obviously, you know, you kill minions with your Q, but the other thing you can do is to poke your opponent. You're never poking that Xerath if he's playing his lane correctly. And it becomes harder to farm because you're constantly under threat. The amount of damage you can drop. He's got a slow, he's got a stun, and Jarvan and Rakan are going to threaten roams and ganks pretty constantly.
Yes. On top of which, it does also just give you that extra sprinkle on any sort of play where it's like, wait, they're fighting us. I haven't seen Xerath in 3 seconds, and now I'm getting hit with stuff.
Yeah, I think, honestly, one of the best parts of that extra wrinkle, that extra, like, little sprinkle of magic, is that that's going to combo really, really well with the Urgot ultimate. Every time Xerath is able to poke you down or hit you with his ult and not quite kill you, you have to fear another ult coming out from Urgot and getting that execute. They're going to synergize really, really strongly. And you can look for that to be a game changer around certain objectives.
I like your bad connections comp, or DPS's comp, I should say. I'm giving your bad connection a lot of credit because this looks like his ideal comp, and maybe somebody else's idea, and not his, and maybe I should take back all the props I'm giving him. But again, this kind of everything works together. On the other side, I actually like Mighty Throw's comp as well. It is very... We have reset it to things that look familiar.
Yeah, these comps, these are two comps that make sense to me. I'm not as much of a fan of Mighty Throw's comp. I've kind of expressed that I'm not a huge fan of the Volibear. I know he has good ganks, he can disrupt, he can get stuns, he can shut down towers, but he seems to really, really fall off in the later stages of the game. So if you don't, get ahead, you're going to really want to play for that Darius and the Jhin. Both of them can run over if they get too far ahead. I don't think that synergizes too well with the Veigar, but, having someone that infinitely scales can be nice. You're not reliant on the infinite scaling, but if the game goes late, you're not, lacking having it. But that being said, Veigar has some pretty fatal weaknesses, low range for a mage being one of them. I think Mighty Throws just has a bit of an uphill battle here. They're really going to need to execute this comp to its fullest to get the value out of it.
I mean, that is fair, and I hear you, but Veigar always has the outplay button.
True, he can just hit you with the primordial burst and send you to the gray screen. We'll find out who ultimately prevails, the super duper omega range ultimates or the outplay buttons, the two teams that we have facing off against each other. We'll have to see in a couple minutes when we come back from a break. essentially.
Are you guys paused at 5?
I am.
I am, yes.
Okay. Let me hit my Control Shift Z. All right. 5,
Is-
4. Huh? Huh? Hmm?
Is that what you use to zoom out?
That's how you get the extra.
Yeah.
zoom,
Control Shift Z. Yeah.
It is not doing it. Oh, there we go.
You
Okay.
then have to. You still have to scroll out after you press it.
Yeah. Control
All
Shift
right.
Z just unlocks
It just
it.
unlocks the zoom.
All right. Ready? 5,
Yes.
4, 3, 2, 1. Play. 6, 7, 8, 9.
Perfect sync
Yep.
this time.
10,
Let's go.
11. Let's get it into game 2 between the Mighty Throats and DPS. DPS winning game 1. That's what that little square
yes.
dot in the. I'm trying to update the graphic as we go. The 1 didn't work, so I just put a little period. That's actually a really big period. I couldn't think of anything else. So there we go.
I like
Every-
it though. It's very effective. But we do have 5
Everyone
members.
on Mighty Throws grouped up in a ball here. They're making something happen. Level 1. They're going for it. What? If Rakan doesn't know, he's got to be careful.
Scotty does it. No, but he
is
does now.
okay?
Oh
Stevie wonders.
no.
No wonder they call
Stevie.
him Stevie. He must be blind.
He had to flash. That's the ghost out of Nicolo. Is Stevie gonna
Nicolo's
be able to
getting
get
him.
away? Nope. Is gonna go down, and that's gonna be first blood to the Darius.
That's
With assist for everybody.
dangerous. Yes, they they ended up blowing 2 summoners for Makolo. Makolo has no sums, but Darius is such a devastatingly difficult champ to play into when he's ahead. Vanguard pinging, hey, I got 5 AP out of that. Already at a bit of an advantage there. And now you have no flash on your best engager, or maybe second best engager, depending on if you value the burst of Jarvan's engage or the reliability of Rakan's engage more. They're not ready to let this go. More is going to happen.
Oh no. Oh, okay. Nope. I thought it was gonna be some more shenanigans, but they will not be shenaning again. They will only shenan a single time. But very well done. He did.
This is true. Red Strike now playing support. Sad Dragon Man on ADC. Makolo still in the top side, and Wish still in the mid lane. I'm sorry, Chad. I did bait a little bit. I thought, based on a comment I saw, I thought Ghost said might be closer to being back, but unfortunately, no. I believe he's in LA traffic, so.
Wait, how do you miss that? So, as they said, the joke is that you can't land the regular Q from Karma and you can't miss the mantra Q. Red Strike would like to prove them wrong because he missed the mantra Q. Like, the hitbox on that is kind of big.
Yeah, so you just have to aim in the general direction. It expands onto this giant cloud, but I think the best way to miss it is for someone to step up past you and it go past them while it's still in its normal projectile form. It's got some decent range. It is pretty tough to miss. That is a bit of a head scratcher, Red Strike. You gotta watch out for that. Red Strike is going for the damage karma too. He's going for full poke. Got the comet. He's got the ignite. Like he wants to be a menace in this lane.
That is very, very true. Does not have the area, is not looking to make the shields extra shieldy. But I do actually really like Jhin Karma because Karma can provide so much poke, and Jhin, of course, can be like, hey, I couldn't help but notice that some damage might have trickled onto you. Stop moving.
Yeah, and especially, that 4th shot, so good at just being a surprisingly large amount of damage really, really fast. Karma pokes him down, Jhin essentially just executes them. It's a strong lane, to be sure.
Oh,
But
there's
it
gonna
might
be
not be strong enough. Look at the Jarvan on the map. They don't know. They're getting
both
fully
junglers are
flanked
down here. Black Fate actually does not get the knock-up. Red Strike is going to get ignited. Defiance is going to come in, and that is going to be the 4th shot from Sad Dragon Man, getting the first kill. Now they're going to try to get on the Black Fate. Is going to get the root, actually, but it's going to be on your bad connection. Your bad connection is going to go away with the 4th shot again. That's 8 from Sad Dragon Man as he gets 2 kills in the bot lane. Just like that.
No, I said on the draft screen that the Volibear needed to be prioritizing his top and bot. He just kind of needs to ignore Wish, let Wish get a little bit punished, which is actually keeping up in the lane, so not that bad. And yeah, Jin is kind of difficult to deal with when ahead. When he's going the lethality build, so much damage comes out so fast on those shots. And it's kind of a big misstep from Black Fate. They do not know that Indefiance is hovering up in the jungle. They did not have vision of him, which sucks. But I think if Black Fate hits the flag and drag there, it's a different fight because Sad Dragon Man just goes down after that. But the miss on the flag and drag allows him to get away, and then that fight just turns from there.
Absolutely. On top of which, Indefiance was able to get a pretty big sky splitter there. It hit 2 people. That is going to be the event horizon on Q-Grid in the meantime. Gonna just keep him in the area. Is not going to officially stun him, but Indefiance looking to move into the grubs is going to be able to secure them on the other side. Black Fate on the dragon, trying to get that Ocean Drake. There are some friends down here now. Red Strike just kind of adventuring, trying to figure out where everything is for DPS. I don't think Black Fate is going to be contested, though.
Yeah, don't think anyone's going to be adventurous enough to contest Black Fate. I thought maybe Red Strike might get a little punished, but nope, we're just going to handshake these first objectives. Go ahead. You can have grubs. I'll take the dragon. You know, bit of a how do you do. On the big thing, we are starting to see the ultimates come out. We talked about outplay buttons. Man, Mikolo and Wish have theirs, and they're not the most impactful without any items, but we could see some things change. And Mr. Krabs and Quaker both have theirs on the opposite ends as well, and those are both kind of function fairly similarly. They can be ranged executes essentially for low health targets. Mr. Krabs also can open fights with it to get that additional damage onto targets and then pull them in, execute them close range, and get the fears onto more targets.
That is also true. And one of the more frustrating things, wow, he missed again. That's going to be the entrance coming in from Stevie Wonders, but it is just going to be a little knock up here. What's a little bit of CC between friends? But yeah, no, it very much is, and it makes Urgot so, I don't know the right word.
He's lethal in the 1v1. That's what he is.
I was talking about in a team fight. If he gets that ultimate off, he can literally be in the middle of 4 people, and now everybody's having a bad day. But Indefiance is back here in this bot lane. That is going to be the 4th shot under your bad connection. I wonder, on the other side, Mikolo is able to get the apprehend. It is a nice shield from Mr. Krabs after the dash. Is going to be fine.
Yeah,
gonna be
Mr.
fine.
Krabs opts for the PTA build here over Conquer. It means he's going to have better trades overall early in that lane. Gets a lot of damage down very fast and doesn't take that much in return because he started with the the plated steel caps, apologies. And so that means he's generally going to outtrade Mikolo, even though Mikolo does have that slight gold lead due to the first blood.
You mean he
Now
started
Black
the Ninja
Fate is in the
Tabbies?
top side. Sorry.
Ooh. Oh, I said you mean he started the Ninja Tabbies.
Yeah, no, for Ninja Tabbies. Once upon a time, what was that, season 10 when that changed?
No, I'm not crazy. Much like we were talking about the league meta, it was one thing for 10 years, and then they change it.
Yeah, no, that is though, to be fair, I think it makes more sense now because a ninja getting extra armor just doesn't make sense in my brain. I feel like if you wanted to keep ninja tabbies in the game, you could maybe replace like boots of swiftness or mobility boots with them because ninjas are like they're like sneaky and they're fast. But like ninjas getting armor never made sense to me. So
That is
it's a fair
fair.
change.
That is very fair. I assume they were associated with Shin's lore because Shin is also a very confusing ninja, but 2 supports around the mid lane. There was also Indefiance hanging out up there, trying to make something happen or at least prevent something from happening to his mid laner. The ADC's left alone in the bot lane. Ooh, Sad Dragon Man. That is going to be the 4th shot used on the ward. Also, wards used to have 5. and it used to be hilarious to watch Jin try to clear it. But Makolo is going to get the apprehend and is now trying to go on to Mr. Krabs with In Defiance nearby. But Mr. Krabs just going to dash away. He's going to be fine. He's not worried.
Lots of mobility for DPS here this game. Mr. Krabs has a dash. You know, Black Fate has a dash. Your Bad Connection has his ultimate. Stevie Wonder has his ultimate and the dash. So, very, very mobile team. Honestly, you might have wanted to even see the Poppy instead of the...
There's the ultimate coming out from Kugert is not going to be enough to take down Red Strike. The other Grugs are being started, not Gromp. Excuse me. Black Fate looks like was able to steal one of them. Just enough to keep them from getting all 6, if I'm not... No, did not.
Yeah, so he did steal one. They only end up with 5, so they're not going to get 2 little Void Mites, but they are going to get at least 1. It is a pretty strong tool to have. Darius might be able to use it in the side lanes. In Defiance might be able to use it in the side lanes, but no like extremely powerful split pushers. We don't have the Jax or like a Yorick, God forbid, in this game. So not going to be the most impactful, but definitely still a boon to have.
No, it doesn't show it. In the spectator, it doesn't show how many they have.
It does for me. At the top side, you got if you go from left to right on the blue side, it's dragons, barons, grubs, towers.
Oh, it's up there. I'm looking at the things that pop up over the champions.
Oh, the buffs.
Yeah, it didn't show up there like it does when you're playing.
Interesting. It does not. I did not know that.
So that's why I was like, oh, I don't know how many they got. I didn't even look up top like a person who should look up top. But that is also going to be a dragon going over to Mighty Throws. It is going to be, yet again, Mr. Krabs. Very nice use of that E, just making sure he never gets apprehended. Smooth criminal. Very smooth criminal.
Yeah, and after a bit of a rocky early game, DPS has stabilized, which is something they needed. You gave a lead to champs that are kind of annoying to play against with a lead, but as long as you don't further continue that, you regroup, you can generally outscale, but it might be too late. Here comes In Defiance.
Your Bad Connection just sidestepping. Doesn't even use any spells, but is going to ult now, and that's going to be the ult from Stevie Wonders, but Red Strike is here. They are going to change their mind. Black Fate is also hanging out down there in the bot lane. Mr. Krabs having a little trade up top with Makolo. Looks like they are fairly even. Makolo is going to take a tower shot. And again, still nearby is Black Fate, kind of just watching to see if there's an engage going on. That is going to be the back finish from Sad Dragon Man. So is going to go home. Nothing going to happen despite all the things that happened. Red Strike, though, getting some nice damage down.
The blown ultimates from Your Bad Connection and Stevie Wonders feels a little bad, but they're not the longest cooldown ults. They'll be back up fairly shortly, as long as they play a little safe and they don't get murdered by the Volibear who's coming right for them.
Stevie Wonders is going to be forced to dash away. Your Bad Connection is going to be forced to use the Ghost, and there's Black Fate coming right back, and Kugert is nearby as well, having pushed in that mid lane wave. So yet again, there's just like a push and pull of like, oh, are you going? Or are we going?
And those small punishes can be important. They overstay a little bit, knowing neither of them have those high mobility ults, and In Defiance comes right back over, and that forces out the Ghost. Ghost is a big tool for Sivir in fights, allowing her to reposition and kite far more effectively. And
they're trying to get the gank on the Wish. Wish is going to get knocked up, is going to be stuck in the Cataclysm, is going to go down. The Event Horizon, though, is going to stun Black Fate. Should have that flag and drag up here shortly. Yeah, there it is. It's going to dash away, and it's going to be a free kill for Kugert in the mid lane. Going to bring the kills to within 2, and the gold lead to within 1,000. Mr. Krabs and Makolo fighting. Makolo is going to get ignited, going to get chopped and killed.
Yeah, that ult is just such an oppressive force in the 1v1. I'd like to talk about that mid lane play a little more. I think it's a result. That's why I'm not huge on the Veigar. It's a bit of a result of him having low range. He has to step forward to play around the minion wave to try and get those stacks up. And the second he does, Black Fate is there to punish it. Again, I think Vhagar is a fine champ, but these obvious weaknesses are going to get exploited, and that's what happened.
Oh, barely out of range of the stun, out of range of the Q as well. Cougar not going to be able to get on the Black Fate, but the Rift Herald is being started in the meantime in Defiance and Red Strike. Kind of hanging out, probably need to walk away. That is going to be the event horizon, but it is not going to get any members of DPS. And now Sad Dragon Man is going to get stunned, is going to get hit with a whole lot of stuff, and that is going to be your bad connection, using the flash, getting the kill, use the ghost, or not the ghost, use the ultimate on the hunt. Makolo using the ghost, trying to chase down your bad connection, is going to not get knocked up enough. Your bad connection looks like it's going to go down, is going to go down, and now we have Cougar and Stevie Wonders trying to get away from Makolo. Makolo trying to get the next Noxie and Guillotine off, is looking, trying, is going to get stunned though, is going to get slapped around, and is now going to be in a very bad position. Is between the two towers. They don't know though that Indefiance is nearby. Makolo is going to take the tower shot. It looks like it's going to go down. He's going to get stunned. He's going to get knocked up. The knockup is only going to go on to Indefiance, and now it is going to finally be Makolo going down. Cougar is going to be able to get the kill, and Indefiance is going to go away. But all in all, that's going to be a protracted 2-for-1 for DPS.
Yeah, kind of a weird play. At first, it was really well played by Makolo. He uses the apprehend to actually interrupt Rakan's engage and force him into a fight where he can't win. So Rakan just has to leave and watch your bad connection die.
Uh-oh. Mr. Krabs looks like he's gonna. Oh, he's gonna get the kill. The shield from the Purge is going to get him the kill. The kill is going to go over to Sad Dragon Man on the comeback. But while we were missing it, there was also a kill in the mid-river region as Black Fate was able to use the Cataclysm to lock down in Defiance. And, of course, the Rites of the Arcane came through and rained, I guess, lightning on in Defiance. Very, very confusing what actually the projectile is there, but it's damage. He got damage. But yeah, very nicely done there by Mr. Krabs up in the top lane to get a kill in the 2v1.
It's a harrowing moment for Mr. Krabs. Makolo, I think maybe just a little bit of, he is a sub. It could be a little bit of nerves, could be a little bit of just simple mistakes. He took 2 tower shots in that fight in the bot side, and if he doesn't, I think it turns into a 2v1, a 2-for-1 in the other direction. He got so much healing off of his Q. I would have liked to see that mistake not happen to a player at this level, but I understand those things. They do. They are inevitably, you will have those mistakes.
That is true. That is very true. But DPS now has a gold lead that is going to be the Rift Herald dropped in the mid lane. Your bad connection trying to clear the wave is going to get stunned with the event horizon, but it is going to be Black Fate jumping in the back line. Your bad connection barely lives through the primordial burst. The Rift Herald is still hitting the tower. Stevie Wonder's now taking low as well. That is going to be another event horizon. Black Fate is trapped in the little cage, but the first tower is going to go down on the top side. Mr. Krabs is going to be able to take it. Black Fate is walking forward. I have questions, sir. Is going to use the Cataclysm there. Is going to go down. That is going to be the Rites of the Arcane going to take down Red Strike. Makolo trying to chase down Cougar. Cougar doesn't know. Oh, no. Is going to get the stun. Is trying to walk away. Does not have flash or anything else. Is going to get a slow, though. Is trying to get to the blast code. Is going to get away. Mr. Krabs trying to chase down Wish. Stevie Wonder is trying to enter, is going to use the quickness, is going to use the dash, is going to get Wish with the charm. That is going to be in Defiance going down to Mr. Krabs. Stevie Wonder is trying to stay alive. Very bad connection. Is going to get Noxie and guillotined. And now it's going to be Stevie Wonder going down. Wish is going to go down from the Ignite burn, though. And I don't even know the numbers on that one. There's just fights.
Yeah, it was just like... There was not one fight that happened. It was just a continuous string of smaller sub fights. But you know what? I had a small complaint between the games. I was like, I've seen so many just routes. Even in 2v1, 2-to-1 series, even when we go to all 3 games, it's been a lot of like just real routes. Like just one-sided matches.
Is on to Red Strike getting taken super low. Yeah, I think that Q's gonna do it. Cougar is gonna be able to get another kill. Is gonna go unstoppable 5-0-2 there on the top side. We do have Makolo and Mr. Krabs fighting. Neither one of them has the, oh no, there is the ult. Makolo does have Axe and Guillotine, just gonna be enough with a little help from an axe handle blade, and it is going to be a shutdown kill there from the top side for Makolo.
Yeah, well, what I was saying is I was complaining about not having a back and forth match. This is as back and forth as you like. Gold within 1,000 in 20 minutes. a real different story from the last game. It's no longer a rout. This is two boxers in the 6th round slugging at each other, just non-stop violence. The big thing here is that a lot of the kills are onto the Jhin for Mighty Throws versus most of the kills are onto Quaker on the Xerath. So who do you want to be fed, your ADC or your mage? We're going to kind of learn to answer that question this game.
Get the cannon, though. Didn't get the cannon.
-1. Chat, get this guy.
Clearly trolling. Clearly trolling.
Yeah.
Red Strike clearing out some vision around the Baron pit. We do have all of, I won't say all of, yeah, all of first items are coming in now. It is actually, they've been here for a while. We just haven't had a chance to talk about it. Makolo, though, might be caught out. That is going to be the quickness. That is going to be the knock-up coming in from Stevie Wonders. That is everybody trying to get on Makolo. Makolo is going to be able to get away, though. Black Fate is going to get rooted, going to get stunned, and is now just in a really rough place. Is going to flash at oh, wait. Stevie Wonders might be dead, though. It is going to go down.
Definitely going down.
Black Fate might be next. That Rites of the Arcane is going to do enough damage to allow somebody to get off. But why were they chasing Makolo to begin with? But why are you there, Wish? Wish is going to barely live. Barely live. Makolo, though, is going to get killed. Just straight up killed, put into the meat grinder. Your bad connection is going to get engaged on, though, and now it is in Defiance trying to get onto him. Is going to be able to get the Cataclysm. Your bad connection trying to get the damage out. Is going to be able to get a kill in the backside, and that is going to be 2 kills. Your bad connection gets 1. Cougar gets the other. Makolo in Defiance. Red Strike all dead.
You gotta keep in mind that Mighty Throws had the early lead, and now it's starting to shift. We're starting to see DPS come into their own. They have the Hull Breaker on Mr. Krabs, so he's going to be a bit of a threat in the side lane on his own. We saw it in the top side when he dueled Makolo. He just took absolutely no damage during that fight, and he dropped the Ignite on the Makolo, so Makolo could not heal nearly enough, and then boom, he wins that 1v1. And that's one of the things that helps turn that fight, because now instead of Makolo being able to pinch from the top side, Mr. Krabs is there, and it keeps your bad connection alive after he killed in Defiance. That's leading to a lot of control around the map. They're able to take the outer tier 1 turret.
They pulled Mr. Krabs over the wall, and Mr. Krabs is going to go down. You can't stand there when they have a Darius.
No, the apprehend. Kind of used to kidnap the enemy top laner. Makolo maybe a little upset about how that last engagement went. Wanted to make his point. They're gonna go straight up to Baron now. This early.
Well, your
Baron
bad connection is super
deal.
low. He can't get there. Kugert's in the bot lane. So very understandable move here from Mighty Throws. And there's no one checking it on the side of DPS.
Yeah, they have no clue.
Oh, it's already down under 6,000. They got it. They know now. They know now. But I don't think they're going to be able to contest it.
Yeah,
it is going
Makolo
to
just
go
zones them away. This is really big. An early Baron like this at only 22 minutes, you know, that evens the gold back out, but now you're going to be able to get pressure on the map. You can get all of your lanes pushing, which is going to allow you access to whatever, you know, the next play you want to make is. If you want to get vision in the enemy jungle and set up for this next dragon, you know, try and get some picks, even out the gold, whatever you want to do, having the Baron pushing your waves really helps. They're going to go ahead and get the tower on the top side. And it looks like Wish is pushing out the bottom side. Third item now coming out for Jhin. That is a big deal, especially when the opposing ADC does not even have their second item. That Jhin now has the empowered auto on the RFC that's going to do massive damage with the lethality build. Now here comes a fight in the top side. Makolo, he's ignited by Mr. Krabs. He doesn't know Black Fate is there. The Flag and Drag comes in. Mr. Krabs fighting him. Here comes the Cataclysm. The Noxian Guillotine doesn't quite get the execute, but Makolo is still healing. He's still alive. Here comes Wish to turn the play. Out comes his little baby cage. A Primordial Burst will seal it away. That is a really rough fight for poor DPS. Man, the healing, even after the Ignite on Makolo, was just ridiculous. The amount of shielding he got from Hysteric's Gauge. made him just unkillable in that engagement. Not quite sure where OldSadBoy has gone.
I am here.
Okay, so
Sorry, I had a coughing fit.
it's all right. I just wanted to make sure you were okay.
Yep, nope, I am here. I am alive. But yes, absolutely life-saving amount of shields came out there for Makolo. This is kind of rough now. I'm not gonna lie. DPS has to figure out. I won't say figure out something. They have 3 dragons. It is an Infernal Soul, but that Baron kind of.
Yeah, it definitely changed things. They're able to get 2 towers in the top lane off the Baron. They're able to get some kills. They get a push coming out in the bottom lane, and the gold now wildly swung. At least for this game, you know, this is the biggest gold lead we've seen so far, and it is in the favor of Mighty Throws.
Yeah. Literally, it went from, oh, maybe they are throwing for real, to, nope, they're comfortably ahead, and there are multiple problems that they possess for DPS.
We might see a skirmish coming out here. Red Strike getting really aggressive. Mantra Tether, extra root down. Or sorry, Mantra Soul Flare actually comes out. Normal Tether.
Black Fate is going to have to go back in, is going to use the Cataclysm. That is going to be Stevie Wonders as well. Then we do see the Rise of the Arcane coming through, but Makolo is right there in Kugur's face. Kugur misses the stun. Oh no, Makolo is going to try for the Noxian Guillotine. It is going to get it, and that is going to be another kill for the Darius, getting the shutdown gold as well. And now there are even bigger problems, as that is 3 members that are down for DPS. With the Dragon coming up in a minute, they will be back up, but now look at all of the real estate, basically, they're no longer going to be able to control.
The silver lining for them is that Mr. Krabs is on the top side. He has Hullbreaker. Now he's got a second item as well. He's got the Black Cleaver. He's working on that third. He's already got the Tunneler for it, and he is a real threat on the side lane. This, split push Hullbreaker.
Your bad connection might be in a bad spot.
Super strong, because he can just melt minion waves like nobody's business. I wouldn't be surprised if after the Sterix Gauge we maybe see a some sort of Titanic Hydra or some sort of Hydra item to help him push waves even harder than he already is.
It looks like they are actually giving up the Dragon. Black Fate is all the way on the other side of the map here. Stevie Wonders is not going to get rooted up, but is going to be nearby. But yeah, I don't know that they're going to... The jungler's definitely not going to be here in time. But here we go. Here's the On The Hunt used by Your Bad Connection. That is going to be a root actually onto Kugur. Kugur trying to... Why? I don't understand that there.
You don't need to take this fight, guys. You can leave. Doesn't matter. They want blood. They're going for it. The tower's down.
Into the backside, and that is going to be Kugur going down. Your Bad Connection is going to be able to get away. But yeah, why are you nearby if you're not going to be able to contest the Dragon? You didn't have to.
DPS, I think, is looking for, maybe if we can get a pick, we can look for some blood. You know, oftentimes, if you get the Dragon, but then you lose a bunch of members, it's not worth it. It generally, especially when a team is already up in the Dragon score, they can afford to just give the Dragon for kills, but they didn't have any kills to do. And Red Trek is proving he is honestly an engager. He sprints up to you with that shielding, drops the tether down. It seems like no one can get away from him. Multiple times he's been able to use it to get picks, and that was just really well layered engage in Defiance, using the ultimate to shut down the tower, and that gave them that kill. Kugur is now back up, but it doesn't matter. They get another tower.
Yeah, and Baron is coming up in 23 minutes. It's already, or 23 seconds. It's already been pinned, pinged, etc. by Karma and by Mighty Throws. This is what you asked for. This is what you asked for.
I did ask for a back and forth game where we're seeing some late game plays. People slowly winning. It's actually DPS that's going to start up the Baron. This is dangerous, though. I don't think they're going to be able to melt it fast enough. The only thing is
multiple members are not nearby, but that is going to be the curtain call coming in. Stevie Wonders is trying to run interference. Interference is nearby and does have the ultimate. Is going to hop in. That is going to be a lot of it, and it's going to be stolen by Indefiance, and now it's going to be Makolo in the back line, killing lots of people. Actually, no, he gets charmed up. He's going to finally get the guillotine off, though. Your back connection running away. He's going to be able to get on to Mr. Krabs. He's going to get another kill, and that is actually going to be a double kill for Wish, though, as Wish is now on to Cougar. Cougar is stuck in the cage. It's going to go down. Triple kill for Wish. He said no. They got me from at least Timu, maybe TJ Maxx. I'm not the mid laner from Wish, and now it looks like it's going to be a game for Mighty Throws? Question mark?
Could be. This is really, really devastating. The gold lead's now up to 8K.
I love the Timo TJ Maxx shit. That was hilarious. I had to unmute for that one. I gotta give that one credit.
Gold lead up over 8K now, and yeah, the Baron steal was a huge boon to that fight. All those extra stats they got from Baron made taking that fight so much easier. And now they're wearing purple cloaks, and they are gonna at least take 2 inhibs, and they'll smartly back out. They'll set up for the rest of the map. They still have a soul point they can play for in 2 minutes. No need to give up your gold lead. You're just gonna slowly push out that lead. They've mostly been playing better macro. A mixture of sometimes better macro, sometimes out hands, and sometimes just being in the right place at the right time and hoping your enemy makes a mistake. All is valid if it gets you the win.
Yeah. That is very accurate. But I think it's also just, it got to a point where all the outplay buttons started outplaying.
Yeah, the items coming down, so much damage comes out from the stacked Noxie and Guillotine. 7 and 1 Jhin is just ridiculous, and now the death cap onto Wish means he just destroys low health targets with the Primordial Burst. It is difficult to do anything about that, especially when the range doesn't matter too much. Makolo just goes in, Indefiance sprints in. It seems like Red Strike is willing to sprint in, and there's not as much peel as maybe DPS would like.
Yeah, absolutely not. The other kind of issue is I think that Indefiance is able to jump into someone, and by the time they get the reaction comes out from DPS, the rest of the team is in range. But there's going to be the curtain call. There's going to be Black Fate stuck inside the event horizon, and that's going to be enough to at least push them off of the tower. And now it looks like the Dragon's going to be going in. Oh,
Watch
no.
Makolo here. He kind of turns back. Everyone has to run from him. He's such a dangerous threat in this fight.
Red Strike is super low. The right to the arcane did take them low. There's actually a Guardian Angel also on Sad Dragon Man. So, like, you have to kill him twice, and there's also going to be shields. That's going to be tough.
Additionally, there's shields from Red Strike coming out. There's peel coming out from the rest of his team. Makolo wants to go here, and Mr. Krabs is a little too far. Indefiance flashes in.
Yeah, he might just be dead. He's going to get a big shield, but it's not going to matter. There's going to be the guillotine from Makolo. Is going to keep chasing. Your bad connection is able to get away, but I don't know what the rest of the team can do. Stevie Wonder's trying to stay with Black Fate, but there's just too much CC, too much damage. That guillotine is going to wear off in a little bit, but Sad Dragon Man is going to just keep hitting people.
Wow, look at those Qs from Quaker. He does more damage than we're giving him credit for. He just can't stay alive long enough.
Your bad connection, barely able to stay alive. That is going to be the Cataclysm coming in from Black Fate, just enough to save the carries. The Q is doing damage there, but there's just too much going on, and the towers get turned off. Indefiance goes in. That is going to be the quickness used by Stevie Wonders. It's going to get charms on everybody, but again, that's going to be...
Ooh, that's big. Makolo goes down.
But I think the rest of the members are not, and that is a dead Rakan. Could not move. Oh my goodness, Indefiance barely living so far. Your bad connection trying to Defiance, sidestepping everything. Sidestepping everything. And he's gonna live. There's no more towers in the Nexus.
He's got silky movement, and Quaker actually does pick up a triple kill. The Q ultimately just destroys the Wish and Red Strike standing on top of each other, both low health, but it's a little too late. As all of your towers are down around your Nexus now. It just takes one good push, and Sad Dragon is going to make a Dragon sad and just take it on his own.
Maybe the Mr. Krabs and Cougar, we're going to get there in time, but are not going to be there, not going to matter. The Guardian Angel did pop, but it's fine. He lived. He lived. They took all of the towers. I mean, there is still the bot lane inhibitor tower, excuse me, but that tower doesn't matter at this point. This is going to be a tough one for DPS. I don't quite know what they're going to be able to do next.
Yeah, it does feel like, you know what? Credit to Mighty Throws. I said they really needed to execute this composition to its fullest to get the value out of it. And at first they weren't, even though they had the early lead, and that's why DPS was getting, back into this game. But then it just feels like a switch flipped for them.
Your
and
bad
boom,
connection is
damage.
gone.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that Mantra Q did. Honestly, I think it was the Root that did most of it, and then the Mantra Q did some more. But within Defiance also getting, not in Defiance, excuse me, Makolo getting some nice damage on there. That's going to be the curtain call opening up as the rest of the team tries to get the inhibitor in the mid lane. It looks like they're going to go ahead and try and go for the top lane as well. Makolo taking a little bit low in Defiance, also taking low. Cougar poking effectively with this Xerath, just trying to clear the ways, trying to make sure that no one on Mighty Throws feels safe. But 2 inhibitors down again. There is no Nexus towers, and it looks like a death bush.
They're death bushing. They're trying to bait them over. They still don't know that ward is outside that bush. Stevie Wonders is a little too close. Oh,
he knows now. Is going to dash away. Mr. Krabs, though, is getting engaged on. Is going to use the purge to get away, but is not going to get far. Somebody's getting run down. There's enough stuns for everybody. That is a very nice Cataclysm for Black Fate. Is going to get him away until it doesn't. And now the Event Horizon is going to keep Stevie Wonder still. Running away is Mr. Krabs, but I don't know, buddy. I think you might just have a bad time. Your bad connection is able to force out the flash from Sad Dragon Man, and the Rites of the Arcane is going to make him stop the curtain call. You don't want to be standing still in that instance. Is taken super low. Cougar is still here to deal damage, is going to get the stun down. Makolo is going to be under 25% health. There's going to be the big shield, though, and that is going to be the game.
Yeah, the curtain call didn't kill anybody, but it doesn't matter because it is curtains. Mighty Throws, a little rocky in the early game, but really, really convincing towards the end of that, and I owe them an apology. I was not familiar with their game.
Very accurate. That said, Cougar did do a lot of damage.
Ridiculous amount of damage. You would expect that from the Xerath, but that is a ridiculous amount of damage. 42,000 damage that game. Unfortunately, damage is not what wins you games. It's blowing up the enemy nexus, and they did not even get close. I don't think they got past the tier 2 tower except in the top lane.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say it. I was wrong about everything. All right. I said Volibear. That pick just whelms me. In Defiance, played that insanely well. He was there for every engage, always on to a prime target that the team could just collapse and destroy. I said Veigar, he's got these big weaknesses. He's too short ranged. He's going to get messed up by Xerath. And Xerath did mega out damage him, but it didn't matter because Wish was still late game picking the important targets, and he wasn't the focus of the team. Makolo honestly surprised me a lot. He bought so much space on that Darius. Every time he turned around and looked at the enemy team, they ran away. They were terrified of that guy.
Yes. Yes. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that Darius was going to wind up being a non-factor, especially once we got to the mid game and DPS started kind of running. Well, I won't say running over, but started pulling back the game and then got the gold lead. It looked like Makolo was going to wind up like every Darius I've ever seen in my solo queue games, where it's like, oh, you just never get in range and you die. And then that stopped happening.
Yeah. I mean, so much credit to Mighty Throws for this game. They had a plan and they executed it really, really well. And this gets me excited for our Game 3 last match of the night. We'll be bringing it to you after a short break.
This is the start of how it all ends. They used to shout my name, now they whisper it. I'm speeding up, and this is the red, orange, yellow flicker beat sparking up my heart. We're at the start.
But I'm looking up at him and I'm like, hey, this is pretty cool. Gnar, a big ultimate onto Aurelia, but Three-man shockwave bursts him down, and Twitch is here for the cleanup. That's 2 kills already. Baron takes out a third triple kill for the Twitch. Can he continue? He does have red, but that's a quadra kill for Twitch. Keep it going. He's got the resets. He's in stealth, and J4 is around. I want to see the penta. He's sped up. He is here. J4, can't you get out? Give him the penta. Do it. Not even give him. Cryptoside's doing his best. He's driving me crazy, and he is still going for it. Locked up, but he's got the penta kill.
Switch with the tries to stuff and end up getting taken down. Meanwhile, Silas is in the back doing a lot of damage. Ooh, a lot's going on right now. Looks like Silas is out of this bed right now.
Oh, she's still alive.
Then takes down Kaisa. Silas is scrapping right now. Silas.
Oh, he took that knock-turn ulti.
He's got it in the game. He's gonna win every game with the quadra kill. That's it.
I'm learning Hyper F. They're on the way. Here comes the
Alice?
Inspector. Vitalis is
It's a huge charm and knockup. Alice Kander wins them another fight. There's no way they're coming back from this.
He's onto
Kane
the
is getting
orange.
lost. This is
He is everywhere. Here we go.
quite concerning. Oh my god!
The Super Mega Death Rocket does what it's advertised.
What?
Across the map into the choke. Double kill for
Only they had Emilio too? No.
Oh, hey, the teleport! The three-man teleport to the base! Three-man teleport to the base! Three-man teleport to the base! Oh, no way! No! Ollie! Oh, he answered him! Oh my god! Wait! Wait! Oh, stop him! Wait! Hey! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Holy shit!
up again. Now I think of everything you told me. Said you had me like a river running through my skin. Sometimes we all get lonely. I can see the light shining in your eyes, even when you're falling asleep. I can see my fate counting up the days, but I still believe in you. I've been waiting all my life. Put it down, keep me up all night. Give me a taste of that good life. Drink it in, burn it up all night. Yeah. Burn it up all night. All I ever wanted was a life that I made. Oh, sometimes all you ever need is someone to believe. Yeah. I can see the light shining in your eyes, even when you're falling asleep. I can see my fate counting up the days, but I still believe in you. I've been waiting all my life. Put it down, keep me up all night. Give me a taste of that good life. Drink it in, burn it up all night. Yeah. Burn it up all night. Don't take it slow, take it home. Under my sheets and my clothes. Don't take it slow, take it home. Under my sheets and my clothes. I've been waiting all my life. Put it down, keep me up all night. Give me a taste of that good life. Drink it in, burn it up all night. Yeah. Burn it up all night. Burn it up all night.
There's gonna be a lot of it, and it's gonna be stolen by Independence, and now it's gonna be Makolo in the backline, killing lots of people. Actually, no, he gets charmed up. He's gonna finally get the guillotine off. He's gonna keep running away. He's gonna be able to get onto Mr. Krabs. He's gonna get another kill, and that is actually gonna be a double kill for Wish, though, as Wish is now on to Cougar. Cougar is stuck in the cage. He's gonna go down. Triple kill for Wish. He said no. They got me from at least Timu, maybe. Gonna be the curtain call coming in. Stevie Wonder is trying to run interference. Interference nearby and does have the ultimate. Is gonna hop in. That is gonna be a lot of it, and it's gonna be stolen by Indefiance. And now it's gonna be Makolo in the backline, killing lots of people. Actually, no, he gets charged up. He's gonna finally get the guillotine off, though. You're back and actually running away. He's gonna be able to get on Mr. Krabs. He's gonna get another kill, and that is actually gonna be a double kill for Wish, though, as Wish is now on the Cougar. Cougar is stuck in the cage. He's gonna go down. Triple kill for Wish. He said no. They got me from at least Timu, maybe. Gonna be the curtain call coming in. Stevie Wonder trying to run interference. Interference nearby and does have the ultimate. Is gonna hop in. That is gonna be a lot of it, and it's gonna be stolen by Indefiance. And now it's gonna be Makolo in the backline, killing lots of people. Actually, no, he gets charmed up. He's gonna finally get the guillotine off, though. You're back and actually running away. He's gonna be able to get onto Mr. Krabs. He's gonna get another kill, and that is actually gonna be a double kill for Wish, though, as Wish is now on the Cougar. Cougar is stuck in the cage. It's gonna go down. Triple kill for Wish. He said no. They got me from at least Timu, maybe. Gonna be the curtain call coming in.
He's one of the CBL English.
Finally, we are getting into the draft for this game. I got a correction that they are supposed to be the Mighty Throws, not just Mighty Throws. The Mighty Throws like the Mighty Ducks, so my bad on that. But here we are into game 3. And I don't have to tell you, well, let's, who won the last one? Mighty Throws. Mighty Throws won the last one, right? The DPS won game 1, Mighty Throws won game 2, and here we are into game 3, into the draft after, I don't know why we were delayed, but hey, GhostSad is back in the top lane. That's Katsumi for the Mighty Throws.
Yes, they have their starting player back.
Also of note, DPS chose to be on red side this game.
Gotcha. Well, we have had 2 blue side wins, so they're gonna need to show us something on the red side that maybe is secret tech that they've been cooking up. They have to pull it out now. We have 3 kind of interesting bans on both sides. We have the Ivern banned out still. I think that's smart because my goodness, I've never seen an Ivern mid do things like that. But the Volibear and the Karma banned out, so Mighty Throw's not gonna be able to use those again this time.
I mean, that also tracks. I would not want to yeah, no.
They opt for the J4 on blue 1, and I think he might have still been there on blue 2 or 3. I don't know if DPS would have prioritized that as their first 2 picks. Would I like to see maybe some more high priority on one of the more OPs? Maybe though Nautilus or Maokai aren't in their support's wheelhouse, but Maokai is still open. I've been saying it, like, he's kind of easy to play. Just pick him up. But no, the Rel gonna come out. And that's not a flex because the J4's there. I guess technically the J4 could be top, he could be mid, but let's not kid ourselves. That is a J4 jungle and a Rel support with the Varus to go with it.
Most likely. That is... I do like the Rel Varus. I'm a big fan of Rel Varus, honestly. I agree with you that they could have gotten the Jarvan, but I think they were like taking the Jarvan so they could figure out what they were playing into bot lane or what they were playing into somewhere. That is my hope and my thought. But it is going to be a Gragas.
I like the Rel pick into Nautilus. I think Nautilus struggles when it's like another engaged tank that he's against. I think Nautilus is strongest when it's some squishy, weak dingus he can just pull out and beat up, and he can't do that to Rel. Rel is much stronger than he is in the 1v1. Like, I know you love Nautilus into the Rakan because Rakan gets shut down by that auto attack, like point and click CC by the depth charge, but Rel is going to be a harder time. Tristana technically still a flex. Tristana could go into the mid lane. Same with Gragas. Gragas also a flex. We're almost through second ban wave here. I love the Poppy ban from the Mighty Throws. That's really smart when you have a Rel, when you have a J4, both of which can be easily shut down by Steadfast Presence. Maybe it's something that Kasumi plays as well, but they banned the Darius. Didn't like how much space it was buying in the last game. That was Mikolo playing that. I don't know if the chant pools are the same between the 2 top laners. And the Veigar.
Is he actually in the? Is he actually in the? Am I? Oh, he's on the wrong side. He's on the wrong side in the client draft. I'm sorry. I was confused.
Yeah, Katsumi is here. You guys can't see in the client draft. Oh, DPS finally picks it. They've been hovering it game after game after game after game, and now they're actually gonna go with the Kazakhs, which does indicate that that's a Gragas.
God, they're going to let Prabhu play Kazakhs. Oh my God. On free agent team last season, he was trying to play that champion every single game, and I said no. Don't play Kazakhs.
He played it like the last week. I thought they finally let
Yeah, he played it at like one point. He used to play it in scrims, and I was like, this champion's so hard to do well with, man.
The Aatrox comes out. I think we did see the first match was a Gragas versus Aatrox top, and we saw how well that went for the Gragas. So if that's the same matchup, it's going to be entirely dependent on Katsumi being better than Mikolo on the Aatrox for us to get a different result. Or maybe the fact that the Kazakhs just won't be able to engage the same way the Xinjiao was. And we see a Cassiopeia come out in the mid lane, and that is very smart. We talked about the Poppy being able to shut down the mobility. Cassiopeia is gonna do a similar job by grounding a lot of these targets. Can ground the Tristana. Technically, I believe Nautilus's hook is not stopped by the ground, but it would have been stopped by Poppy because of the way Steadfast Presence works. But Gragas, his dash is shut down by the ground. Kha'Zix's leap is shut down by the ground. Even Corki's W, I believe, will also be shut down all by one ability on the Cassiopeia. I think it's a very high value pick.
Yes. Those sound correct, yes. Corki has to have started it outside of the ground for it to go, but if you get him in it, cannot then jump out. But yeah, I think we had this conversation last week, if I remember correctly.
We might have. We've seen a couple Cassiopeias. I don't know how I feel about the Kha'Zix. I think otherwise I like both drafts. Kha'Zix is very high risk, high reward here, and he doesn't have anyone he can super easily get onto and just eviscerate this game. Varus is going to have his ultimate, ultimately, to keep the Kha'Zix away as long as he can hit the skill shot, and he's going to have a Rel with him who provides exceptional peel, and Cassiopeia is deceptively quick, maybe very, very difficult to catch. What are your thoughts on the draft?
Quick. No, I am a much larger fan of Mighty Throws draft. I am a Kha'Zix hater. I frequently rail against AD assassin junglers because, again, as you know, I am a born again utilitarian in that I believe in the gospel of utility, not utilitarian, the weird thing with Jesus, but maybe. I don't know. I apologize if I'm offending your actual religion. I believe in utility.
Not
and
utilitarian,
Kha'Zix,
the philosophy.
No, none of that. None of that. I mean utilitarian, like, did you bring utility to the fight? Huh? But and quite frequently there's not an alternative playstyle for Kha'Zix other than I killed it. Yeah. And if not, then you're gonna wind up useless, and I'm not a fan of that.
And that's exactly why I didn't want it to be picked last season.
He could use that damage to try and, accelerate the Tristana bot lane. Tristana is a very strong early ADC and a very strong late ADC. I think the mid game is where she starts to lag behind if she's not already ahead. Because her passive does allow her to scale up pretty safely because she gets so much extra range. So in late fights, she's always doing damage and fairly safely too. And early on, she puts out a very, very strong amount of damage. So Kha'Zix could try to look to accelerate there. He could look to punish the Aatrox matchup, but that's pretty tough for two burst-heavy champions if we see the same Gragas build from the first game. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it overall.
Yeah, like you have to be, if you play an AD assassin jungler, you have to win the game. Like you have to be confident that you're going to be better or good enough that you can win the game. And I just don't think I don't think that's consistently true enough of most people that it's something worth doing.
Yeah. Looks like everyone's still taking some time to get set up. I don't know if we want to wait for the in-game draft. I think it's pretty clear where everybody is going. We might just want to, sit here. We can sit here and chat. I'm fine sitting here and chatting, but I don't know how much more I can break down this draft and sound interesting. I think I'm going to start repeating myself.
There's worse things to do than repeat yourself.
We can look back at that Kyrie Irving clip. I don't think I even got it. I don't think I even have it pulled up anymore. Do I? Oh no, I have the clip from last game about the.
Yeah, here's I'll share a little tidbit. I'll let you guys. I'll let chat inside the scenes, behind the scenes here. In Defiance posted a clip he posted a YouTube video, and it was just the link to Bear Necessities from the Jungle Book, and then he immediately banned the Volibear again. Despite the fact that I don't think In Defiance lines up as jungle this game. Which, to me, that's hilarious, because In Defiance, even though he was jungle in the last game, he is classically the ADC 4 mighty throws.
But those that are longtime BTL members, which are some of the people in this game, know that Indefiance came into this league as a jungle player and mostly played Volibear. In fact, in like a few seasons ago, he was the person that was the main component as to why he helped the team get the fastest win in BTL history with like a 16-minute game with him playing Volibear jungle. It was
I'll say
an insane clip. So yeah, he's definitely known for playing some jungle, playing some Volibear. He's played mostly jungle in BTL. I think that's his probably main role. But the last 2 seasons he's been playing some. Well, I think last season he played on Maria's team, and they each took a turn playing every single role. But I think he mostly played ADC recently.
Looks like they're finally
Are we
waiting
actually...
on us. We can
Oh,
get
my
into
goodness.
draft.
Okay.
Let's go. We can get into draft 2, Electric Boogaloo, making sure everyone's going where we think. There's no funny stuff happening. Doesn't look like there's too much wiggle room for that in this game. I suppose it could be like a Nautilus top Gragas support, but I doubt it. I just doubt it.
I've been watching a guy who was climbing to like Grandmaster or something, playing Nautilus top.
Oh,
Like, that was
Nautilus
his thing.
was originally
That used to
top.
be a thing. Remember the
And Nautilus
whenever,
jungle, I remember
what was
that.
Well, what was Nautilus top? Whenever there was that rune that came out that would just make hard CC tanks just ridiculously strong.
Courage of the Colossus.
I think that sounds right. Yeah. Whenever the Nautilus top was crazy during that time.
Nautilus wasn't originally designed as a support, which seems ridiculous when you look at it. It's like a perfect support kit. It's just pure util and CC. Like every button is a CC button. You auto attack someone, that's a root. You hook someone, that's technically an airborne and a stun. You W, you do more damage, but you get a shield, which helps you be nice and tanky. And then your E is a slow, and your R is an airborne. Like Nautilus is just the most tank engaged support of all the tank engaged support.
Yes.
And in
But yes,
terms
he
of
didn't
OldSadBoy's
start.
gospel, the utilitarian gospel, I think Nautilus would always be a pick that would that would work for that gospel.
And he can play everywhere. So I am a fan of playing Nautilus just about anywhere. And I think wasn't Dewey be playing a mid the year they won Worlds?
Was there Nautilus mid at Worlds? Is that what happened? I don't like doubt that.
No, yeah, I just have to check.
Hover
I'm not
as
sure.
a shout out. Red Shotgun Rail is kind of classic too.
Yeah, I do. Like I said, I do really like picking the tank.
Yeah, he played it game 1, 2019 World Championships. He played Nautilus mid.
Nice. So Nautilus confirmed every position but ADC. Make it happen, Riot. Where is my Nautilus ADC? Dude, it was gonna happen if they kept those what's the item? Rudon's Hurricane. If they kept the Rudon's Hurricane changes, your on hits would proc on other people. So you saw like Skarner infinitely stunning 3 targets. Because you would hit someone and it would lower the cooldown, and then you'd stun all 3 of them because of Rudons, and then it would lower the cooldown. You might have seen some Nautilus ADCs. He builds a Rudon's Hurricane, keeps everyone infinitely rooted. But they axed those changes. They realized very quickly that was a terrible idea.
I mean, I don't know who didn't tell them that. Like, why didn't they know that before?
I feel like the second I saw it, I was like, that's not gonna end well. And then I kept seeing videos of more and more ridiculous stuff happening. I'm like, Riot, please don't let this hit live. And they didn't. Thank you, Riot. Shout out to the Riot dev team for not letting that item hit live. My goodness.
I mean, something else is gonna hit live very soon. That's just gonna make us all go.
Oh yeah, if it wasn't Smolder, there'll be something soon. It'll happen. Don't worry, folks. The 200
100%.
years hasn't stopped yet. You're still in that 200 years. But you don't have to wait 200 years for us to get in the game. Only a few minutes. We'll be right back after a short break. And you build it with a Lich Bane. Disgusting.
All right, are you guys paused at 5?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Perfectly synced
11,
once again.
12. Here we go into our final game of the match and our final game of the night between the Mighty Throws and Team DPS.
I like that the Mighty Throws has been changed from MIT to TMT.
Yeah, now that we know there's an extra word in there, and it listen, if they become like the Mighty Ninja Throws, then they get to be TMNT, and I'm a personal fan of that show. Thoughts on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I have been a fan of the Ninja Turtles since the old 80s, late 80s, early 90s cartoon. Yes.
That's someone that we need to see. That's someone we need to see. Someone pull out the Ninja Ramus top. I want it. But speaking about champions we actually have in this game, we drew a lot of attention to that Kha'Zix, and rightfully so. Assassins are feast or famine, but Kha'Zix really more so than any. And especially as a jungler, it can be very hard for him to keep the pressure up if he's not getting kills. But at the same time, as a jungler, you sometimes want to be giving those kills to your team so that they can get ahead. Kha'Zix can be a carry jungler. It's possible. It just takes a lot of work.
It does, and the thing is, if you have a team that's willing to play with I won't say willing to play with you. I assume they're all willing to play with him. But if they're all kind of locked in, sure, yes, you can make the Kha'Zix the hard carry you deserve. But it takes a lot of things to make that happen, and I don't know if we are going to see that or not. But currently, he's even one camp to one camp, locked in.
Yeah, looking at the early game states of everything here, we actually do see the deep ward. I think that will catch in Defiance, who is back playing jungle again this game. They decided to keep Sad Dragon Man playing the ADC role. It worked out last game, so might as well keep it going, even though they have pull the sub out and put in Katsumi, their starting top laner.
Yeah. Like Etoe was saying, we have seen Indefiance play jungle before. It's not a surprising coincidence, but here we go. Black Fate coming into the top lane onto Katsumi. Already pops the ghost, and they are trying to chase down Katsumi. He's going to take some solid damage. It's going to get knocked up. It's going to flash. I don't know about that flash, buddy. I don't know if you thought you were getting away or not. That's going to be first blood over to Black Fate.
Maybe he was trying to buy some time from Indefiance, but Indefiance was coming through the lane and not through the river. You were kind of dead no matter what there. Just take that, you wasted Black Fate's time a little bit by moving around. You prolonged that gank, and you made Black Fate use his ghost. Take your silver linings, but no, the flash, and now obviously the teleport after having to come down. That puts Katsumi pretty far behind, and we do know what happens when the Gragas gets ahead in this matchup. It's pretty rough to deal with.
I think we have seen that before. Might just have a little bit of an idea of how that works, but the kill did go over to the Kha'Zix. So Kha'Zix comes back with a pickaxe as opposed to the longsword by Indefiance. Also, that's actually been a thing that has been happening a lot, where junglers have been taking the first 3 camps and going to get a longsword. Black Fate going into the bot lane is going to be spotted on a ward. Everybody knows where everybody is, except they don't know that Indefiance is here, and that is going to be an ignite dropped on Red Strike. Red Strike is going to go back in, and Stevie Wonders is going to be first go down. Your Bad Connection is going to be the next, and just like that, the tables have turned.
Yeah, really, really smart play. Very, very heads up from Red Strike there. He saw that Black Fate came down and went back, and even though they don't have vision, Black Fate could be waiting. They do know that Indefiance is already there, so he's going to get to the play faster than Black Fate. And Stevie Wonders is just a little out of position, and bam, out comes the Rel engage. Really, really well played.
A grounded Corki cannot dash away until just now. Is going to flash forward. It's going to get flashed on.
Oh,
it's going to live! There was no Q to go with the E. And just like that, all the summoners are out of Wish. That is the flash out of Indefiance. Sure, the flash out of Qgert, but they did not get the kill.
Yeah, that went from a really, really good play for the Mighty Throws. They seemed like, man, they're using this early pressure from Indefiance to get kills. To all of a sudden, you just traded 3 summoners for 1 Corki flash and a Corki teleport, and they don't even get the wave shoved in. It seems like a really losing play in hindsight.
They do, however, use that priority to get the grubs. I keep wanting to call them Gronk, or, this is
all 3. Yeah,
frustrating.
they go ahead and they get the Void Grubs. Gronk, Brady, and Edelman are all going down to Indefiance here.
Oh, that is good. That is very good. But yes, Indefiance able to take them down.
Chat, clip it and send it to me. I need clips for the reel. You don't get them. You don't get them that often.
Oh, Indefiance are getting taken super low, trying to get away. Mr. Krabs does have level 6 as well. He's going to be able to get the kill. Katsumi now in a bad place. Doesn't have flash. He's going to go down. Black Fate is going to get another kill, and that is a 2-0-1. Kha'Zix.
Maybe there's a reason Black Fate kept hovering this, kept threatening it. He was saying, ban it or I'll pull it out when it matters the most. This Kha'Zix is dangerous. My goodness.
To making us sound like haters is very good.
Yeah, the team so far today, what we were like, about the Volibear, it seems low impact this season. Indefiance shows us why he knows his Volibear. About that Veigar survives the lane and has impact late. And now, I don't know about that Kha'Zix, and Kha'Zix is showing us why he's an early carry. But
we said the same thing about Ivern.
I say we were wondering about Ivern. Ivern carries. If you have me and OldSadBoy on the cast, here's what you got to do, all right? You just pick something that makes us question your abilities, and you're gonna pop off, guaranteed. Pick some
100%.
weird stuff. We're gonna flame you, and then immediately you're gonna have the game of your life, guaranteed. Every time.
Hey, it's effective.
It works.
And here we go. The repeat gank on the Katsumi still does not have the flash, does have the World Ender, but Mr. Krabs is going to be getting away. Black Fate is going to be hitting him, And it looks like Wish is going to be able to get that kill there on the Cougar, but Black Fate is going to get the kill on the top side, and that nice little ignite from Stevie Wonders is going to even out the kills in mid lane.
You know, Cougar in chat has got to be flaming Stevie a little bit. He missed that hook, and like I said, Cassiopeia, deceptively fast champion because of that passive, but Cougar definitely lives if that hook lands. I want to note, actually, a couple of the choices on Keystones here. Sad Dragon Man took the Comet and then is also going for the lethality build. I think it's smart into a mostly squishy team, the only truly tanky member being Stevie Wonders on the Nautilus. But Mr. Krabs this game changes up. He does not go for the first strike into Katsumi on the Aatrox this time, respecting maybe Katsumi's ability to initiate a little more, or maybe he's a little bit more worried about in Defiance on the jungle this game. And so he goes for the phase rush, and that's been really impactful in both these ganks. He's able to just get his damage down, get his CC down, and then just run away really fast while he doesn't have anything else to apply. Wish going for another fight in the mid lane.
Does get the ground. Does not have the ultimate, is going to get a kill, but it is going to be coming back from Black Fate. Is going to be traded again. Wish not able to just get the clean kills, and it is contributing, I'll say, to the inability of TMT to pull in that gold lead just a little bit. It is only 1,300, so it's not that much, but under tower already. Did not have ultimate, did not have the stun. I don't know. a little bit of trash talk coming in.
Yeah. Wish not happy about getting ganked, but luckily in Defiance there to save. We talked about once the Gragas is ahead, this is a near unplayable matchup for the Aatrox, and we're seeing it, especially when the Aatrox is 0-3. He's so far behind. And he's already a level down. He actually just caught up at 8. Very, very difficult matchup to play. Luckily, the bright side for Mighty Throws here is that
Sad Dragon Man getting hit with everything is gonna go down. Getting dove. You gotta sense it.
Kha'Zix has been everywhere on the map, getting all sorts of kills. The bright side for Mighty Throws being that because Kha'Zix is ganking lanes and getting kills and generally being a menace to society and, you know, all that great stuff, they're getting objectives. They're going to have all 6 grubs here. They got the first dragon. So they have win conditions. They have outs. The Kha'Zix, they got to be careful or they're going to get run over by a bug.
Yes. That said, Kha'Zix is going to get spotted by Wish. Wish is going to ground him. Cougar trying to get some damage off Black Fate is going to be able to hop over the wall. There's going to be the Magnet Storm misses. Oh no. Red Strike not able to get in. The Valkyrie out from Cougar is going to be just enough to make them safe. Yeah, that feels bad, man. Feels bad.
Yeah, been some rough trades for TMT so far this game. They've just had some moments where they barely miss, and it's not been that great for them. We see that Kha'Zix is on the bot side, but he's gonna start his recall.
Is gonna actually stick a bot
there.
Your bad connection may wind up getting dove similarly to what we just saw happen to Red Strike. That's why I think Defiance is hanging out.
But we have a skirmish coming out. Mr. Krabs is on top of him.
And Katsumi gets pushed back. Is not going to get away. No. Mr. Krabs going to get the kill. Solo dolo. I mean, is it really a solo kill, though, if your jungler's already put you super far ahead?
It's like, a solo bolo. Katsumi just... I know it hurts so much. I know you're a top laner, and giving up farm is, like, against your guys' creed or whatever in the top lane. Like, it's like taking off your helmet if you're a Mandalorian, but you just gotta give it. You're in too dangerous of a position. He does too much damage. He's too tanky at this point. Oh my goodness.
Gets the package, gets the kill, able to Valkyrie away, does not get caught in the petrifying gaze, and that is a jungler dead with the dragon coming up, and that is going to be Rel dead as well, and there's going to be a teleport coming in from Mr. Krabs. It looks like it's going to be a dragon for DPS with no such answer available for TMT. Very well played. I was worried.
I'm so sorry, Because I just kept talking, assuming, no, there's
the
4
hook.
people here.
There's the knockup, and now Sad Dragon Man is in a bad place. He's going to be forced to flash away. It's going to be burning down to ignite. Mr. Krabs trying to get onto him. Oh, it's going to be saved by Indefiance. Body blocks the body slam, and barely able to live.
President. Yeah, I kept talking over you at that mid lane play because I'm like, surely not. They have like 3 people to this one Corki, and Cougar walks up just unstopped, unhindered, and just gets a kill and walks away. And now he might get another one on the top side.
But it is going to be, he gets the one on the top side.
It's off screen.
Wish is able to kill your bad connection on the bot side with a little help from Red Strike. That's going to be the one we get to see. I guess they assumed that we just knew that the Aatrox was going to die. We've seen it a lot tonight. But yeah, rough times going around for that Aatrox.
5k gold lead. They no longer have that big advantage of having the dragon lead. You know, normally that allows you to kind of dictate when and where you want to fight. No longer. The dragons are tied up 1-1, but they do have 6 grubs, so they can get some good objective pressure. But that's probably matched by the fact that DPS have a Tristana, and Tristana doesn't like towers, to say the least.
I mean, that is true, but they did actually get more plates in the bot side, and we're even in the mid lane and down 3 in the top side. So you know there was some gold that was gotten there because of them Void Grubs, Void Mites, Gronk, Edelman, and Brady.
Yeah,
oh, but Black Fade is back
Brady.
up in top lane. Katsumi is able to actually gets knocked away, is able to get a final knock up, and Mr. Krabs and Black Fate not able to get the kill, but they are able to force out the flash and the World Ender again from Katsumi. That explosive cask just barely on the wrong side, I should say, and gave Katsumi a little bit of space.
This is really, really smart from Mr. Krabs. He wanted to continue pushing that wave, not let Indefiance come up and reset it, but he's just going to wait. They don't know he's in the bush, and now he can shove the wave for free. Indefiance is going to come back up. I don't think he's going to be able to get that kill. Surely the cask comes out, and then he just walks away. And that is the case.
Yeah.
Oof. Rough start for TMT, but the game is salvageable. They have avenues. They're tight, but they have things to play around. They have a considerably better engage once they have all 5 members there with the Rel and the J4.
Hugert, though, playing around with the wave, buddy. I understand the desire to, but I don't think that's a good play. Get chunked out for about half his health. Is going to just be hanging out here, but it looks like it's going to be the Rift Tail being taken by Indefiance. Up here in the top lane is going to have a hover from Red Strike. Has taken all of the top side for the amount of not help that Katsumi has gotten. The top side objective has all belonged to TMT.
Yeah, it's a smart play. They know that Kha'Zix just can't really contest them in objectives. He's got to be hit and run, right? He's got the first strike, so all his damage is up front, and I don't think he can really kill Red Strike and Indefiance that quickly, so they know they can control those objectives a lot better than Black Fate can. So they go ahead, and they're using that to get those early objectives. They're starting him quickly. They know he's on the other side of the map.
Uh-oh. Well, we're about to find out.
Might go down
Red Strike is getting pulled in.
Him.
Oh, Indefiance is nearby as well, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. Hugert is getting
Wish, be careful.
damaged by Wish. Wish is going to get the petrifying gaze, though, get a bunch of damage, and now is going to actually get pushed back by the Buster Shot, is going to live just fine. Black Fate is now going to go down. That's going to be Indefiance with the shutdown, and Stevie Wonders is on the wrong side of the map. Hugert trying to get back the kill, is going to go on a killing spree, is going to be able to get the Rel, but Sad Dragon Man looks like it's going to be able to finish it off, and that is going to be 4 for 1. Mr. Krabs is nearby, but that's not going to be enough to kill Wish. Wish is just barely going to live. Mr. Krabs trying to get in on him is going to not land the Q.
Man, what a really, really well-played fight from Wish. You know, I want to give a lot of credit to Wish there because he, you know, got engaged on, but landed a really, really impactful petrifying engage. And then as he goes up in towards the mid lane, he comes back for just a second, baits the Corki over, then flashes over the wall, pulls their composition apart just that little bit. And that opened up the window for Sad Dragon Man and Indefiance to get in there on a Ultimately, the kill does come out on the red strike, but that might have been a bit of a faux pas simply because now extra shutdown gold goes over to In Defiance off of that, and Sad Dragon Man is 3-1-3.
Mr. Krabs getting taken super low, your bad connection, having a bad time, but that is going to be a very nice package from Cougar. He's going to be able to get the kill, and it's going to be a killing spree for Mr. Krabs is able to take down Wish, and now there is going to be a fight for this here second dragon. Cougar timing the packages very well with the dragons coming up, and half of TMT is below half health. Cougar
But this
still
is a
pumping out
smart
those
play from TMT. They know that they don't have the advantage on the dragon, so they're forcing the play in the mid lane with the Herald.
Oh no!
Really good
Cougar is going to go down. Mr. Krabs is taking super low. Stevie Wonders is not going to be able to Spider-Man it off, and now he's going to be able to knock everybody up. Your bad connection hanging out on the side. He's going to get knocked as well. He's going to jump over. He's going to get pulled back in by the Cataclysm, and now everybody's it is by himself. Mr. Krabs able to join up with them, but they got the dragon, and they lost 3.
You know, I talked about the avenues were narrow for TMT to bring themselves back into this game, but they found them. Really, really smart macro plays, deciding not to play into the dragon fight. We'll give the dragon and we'll take your mid lane turret. That's going to open up a lot more access into following objectives. The Baron comes up in only a minute, and while I don't think TMT are anywhere close to being ready to fight it, they do have an accelerated bot lane right now. 4-1-5 on the Varus versus only 1-4-1 for Your Bad Connection. He has 2 items. And Your Bad Connection only has the Kraken Slayer, a hammer, and a cloak. Not as good, but Mr. Krabs looking to take another kill in the bot lane.
Be able to get the knockback onto Katsumi. Katsumi, there's nowhere to go, baby. It's just going to go down. Mr. Krabs is going to go on a rampage. We do see Cougar hanging out nearby as well. It looks like they're trying to get onto In Defiance. Sad Dragon Man is there. He's going to land the Chains of Corruption, and that is going to be In Defiance living just long enough, and now Black Fate is going to go down as well. Magnus Storm, a little late from Reg Strike, but it doesn't matter. That was just security. Security on the other side. Wish gonna use the petrifying gaze on Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs is going to live, but now we do have Jarvan hanging out nearby, looking to come around the backside. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah, that mid lane play kind of exemplifies the issue we had with the Kazakhs. It's why they weren't taking those early objectives. He just doesn't do enough damage to melt all the way through In Defiance like he can some of the other members. It's not the squishiest composition. Wish built a Rod of Ages and a Seraph's Embrace as their first 2 items, so they're very tanky for a mage. The least tanky member is probably Aatrox in the top lane going full lethality because the Edge of Night actually blocks out a significant amount of damage from Kazakhs, who's very reliant on abilities.
Cougar might be in a bad place. We do have In Defiance back there trying to shadow the Aatrox. The Aatrox is still hanging out in this game. Is 1-6-2, but keeping up in CS, keeping up in levels.
That's the power of the lethality Aatrox. You're very squishy, but you heal a lot, and you're a bit of a glass cannon. You dish out so much damage that you're still a threat even if you're behind. But he does need to be careful. Cougar outranges him by a lot.
And is up
Cougar's
2 levels.
On top of him now. I don't know,
Cougar,
Katsumi.
Yeah.
That's not a fight you win. Cougar does so much damage with the Muramana Essence Reaver that inadvisable.
In Defiance is coming through, though. Is going to try to get on the Cougar. Cougar is going to sidestep the flag and drag, but is going to go down eventually. Oh
yeah, that's the problem with these more bursty champions. They struggle to get through the J4, especially after the Sundered Sky, and a lot of the burst being physical from the Trist, from the Corki, and from
they're trying to go on to Wish.
Kazakhs. Oh, Wish is doomed here.
There's just too many people. Does get the petrifying gaze on the Black Fate, though. Is going to get exhausted as well. They are not playing any games, and that is going to be 3 people there to kill 1 Medusa. But Kazakhs does get the kill in the end, and they are able to balance it out. Basically, it was just junglers ganking mid laners in the side lane.
Yeah. Wish playing a little bit too far up. Like, obviously, you don't have the vision of Black Fate or Mr. Krabs hiding in, I believe it was Mr. Krabs hiding in the bush, but you don't have the vision of those guys, so that means you need to be playing safer. It's a respectable mistake. It happens, but you gotta, especially on those side lanes, you gotta play safer, especially as a mid laner. You're tanky for a mage, but you are still a mage at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And on top of which, I think the thing that's really been helping Wish survive has been getting all the Conqueror proc after getting the AoE and everything going on, but never has a chance to get that. That said, Indefiance is going to engage on the Cougar. Cougar does have package. Indefiance is taken super low. That package is going to run out in a little bit. I wonder if they're going to make some sort of play here and try and go onto the Baron. No one is able to take the Edge of Night off.
Favoring the dragon right now.
That poke coming out from the Varus is still very, very strong.
Mr. Krabs has a Lich Bane this game, and so look for him to maybe
get
some
Lich Bane
early...
last game. Last Gragas game, I should say.
Well, he's got a Lich Bane now, so look for him to maybe get some burst down and get that early kill. They do steal the
Dragon
dragon.
is stolen by Indefiance. Mr. Krabs is able to get a kill on the backside, but it's only on the red stripe. That is going to be Cougar getting engaged on there with the Cataclysm. Your bad connection, trying to stay alive, trying to get the damage out, but is going to get caught by the Petrifying Gaze. And yet again, that is 3 members dead for DPS. Just to kill the red stripe.
Kasumi needs to be careful. He's over here in the lane alone, and Mr. Krabs, he doesn't know. Does Kasumi get away? He does. He does.
But more importantly, by more importantly, I mean more importantly, we are seeing now the Kazakhs just getting zoned off of all of these fights after the fight happens.
Well, he doesn't get away from that one.
Able to delete Katsumi. I don't know why he's sticking around, but there's so much damage coming out from the
Kazakhs. Oh, he bought the last
Cassiopeia.
Whisper. He's got so much armor penetration. He's going to do so much more damage to
They're
these
trying to get
chunkier
in
members
there.
now.
Mr. Krabs used the explosive cast to get in there, and now Cougar is on Indefiance. Indefiance is going to go down. That's going to be a shutdown. The Magnet Storm goes in, but I think Red Strike is not going to come out, and that looks like it's going to be Baron for DPS. What the heck?
Yeah, kind of risky to start up that Baron. You know that your top laner is down, and even though you think you're tanky enough, if you look and you see that last Whisper, you're gonna lose that fight at that point. You're starting to get to the point where those damage items are chunking you out. You aren't a hyper tank. I mean, the Rel is, but you're on the support economy, right? So you only have one item. Overall, pretty rough play there, and it puts the game pretty firmly back into DPS's control.
Literally a series of great ideas from TMT thrown away with one bad decision.
Yeah,
But
I really don't like the Baron play there. I know Katsumi isn't the most impactful member of your team, but he is another body that they have to work through. He's another source of CC. This mid lane tower is going down, and they do not have the safety anymore. If they look for a fight, they probably lose here, so they're going to back off, and I think that's smart.
Question is, once that explosive cast comes in, why engage there and try and fight? Why not just, say, hey, we can walk it out. We don't have to give them Baron either. I just don't understand that fight there from TMT.
Yeah, it's a little easy. It's pretty easy to see at this angle. There was no way they were winning that. They might have not known where some of the key members of DPS were, and assumed that they could maybe get a pick early on.
The poke coming in from Cougar.
Black Fate now has the Serelda's Grudge. That's a massive amount of armor penetration and the slow. He's a bit of a problem for these tankier members of TMT now. He's no longer just purely walled by them, and that's an issue because he was being contained solely by the fact that Rel and Indefiance on the J4 could just survive his burst and then CC him to death, but that's no longer the case. Between Black Fate and Cougar, they died to the burst now, and so they need to position a lot more carefully.
That is true. That is very true. I do like the play that we were seeing out of DPS where they're basically 1-4ing it, because honestly, I don't know that any of their solo laners on TMT can match up to Mr. Krabs. and there's so much pressure between the poke from Corki and that Tristana on a tower.
Yeah, he's already level 17, so no one can match him. Katsumi is only level 14 by comparison. It's nearly an impossible matchup, but he's not going to be impactful in the team fight either, so you send him to try and match Mr. Krabs, but it doesn't matter. It's a losing 1v1. Everyone going to go ahead and take their opportunity. They shove their waves in. They're going to go ahead and reset as this Baron is almost up. They're going to get Baron onto this last wave maybe, but I don't think it's reaching the towers before the buff runs out. Yeah, but everyone resets and out come another set of items or components for most of their members. You know, your bad connection is still behind, but I don't think it matters. They're not needing him to do damage because Kha'Zix is so far ahead.
I'll go with maybe, because we've seen in a lot of these fights, though, even with that, Kha'Zix has been kind of pushed out of the fight. Cougar does have teleport and should have package coming up here in a second. So this dragon fight could turn into another Cougar experience where he suddenly kills everyone. But I don't think he's going to be able to back and teleport back in time. That is just going to be gone. Mighty Throw is going to be able to take that Hextech Drake and now are on soul point.
Yeah, you know, that does hurt if you're DPS, but I think they're fine with that trade. They get another tower down, and now they're only on tier 3 turrets on the side of TMT. And yeah, you're kind of forced to fight for the next Drake, or else you give over soul, and it is a very impactful soul. But I think DPS take that. I think they're banking on the fact that they win the 5v5, and at the moment they do. So we need to see some, some very precise farming, maybe some good positioning to try and get a pick, but with Wish up that far, the pick could be on the other side. Everyone backing away from it ultimately. It comes down to very, very precise movements.
Katsumi might be in trouble again.
Black Fate, he's going to use the Oracle, and he knows he's not on vision, and here he comes.
Oh
wow,
no.
Really well played.
The petrifying gaze. And that is going to be a shutdown for which sure Cougar gets the return kill, but that's what you want. And now Cougar is out of position, is going to be forced to flash. There's the Cataclysm. That's going to be the kill by Indefiance. Here comes the teleports coming in from the top laners. Your bad connection trying to get some damage down, but that's going to be a Magnet Storm. That is a very big Magnet Storm. Katsumi gets a kill, and now it's going to be Sad Dragon Man getting the kill onto Stevie Wonders, and yet again it's going to be Mr. Krabs left alone. Oh my goodness!
I know we're looking at Sad Dragon Man with the 7-1-7 scoreline, but if this game gets turned around, we have to give all the credit to Wish. There's been multiple just game-defining plays where he has just changed fights totally. It should have been, he was overextended. He should have, by all rights, been dead to the pick, but a perfectly timed petrifying gaze destroys Black Fate. He's able to get so much damage down, and without their main carry there, without that main damage source, TMT go through and run over the fight because their tanks finally are able to get through and just get onto the members of DPS without getting deleted by that stupid bug.
Yeah, no, literally, Black Fate could not do a single thing in that fight. Baron is going to be up now, but yeah, got literally the 280s.
Oh, look at that.
I don't want to see 80 carries. Oh no, Black Fate is going to be taken down super low. Oh, is able to dodge out the chains of corruption just in time, but Katsumi's right there. Black Fate is doing stupid damage to him. Mr. Krabs is nearby. Katsumi is able to get the kill, and now it is Mr. Krabs running away, but it's not going to matter because that's going to be Stevie Wonders going down as well, and now there's 3 members alive for DPS, but the Baron is in the eyes of TMT.
I wanted back and forth games, and I got him. This one has been a roller coaster. Both teams trading the lead back and forth. The Mighty Throws had a Mighty Throw, but they've clawed it back now. And they are not in the gold lead yet, but they have a very, very big objective advantage here. That Baron buff is going to last all the way up until that next dragon. That's very important. They'll be able to shove out waves despite having one less tower. They're going to be able to get priority and set up the map what they want to get that dragon. that was really big. Katsumi got that little bit of gold from those assists and kills in the last fight, got a third item, and he just deleted Black Fate because Kha'Zix might do damage.
Stevie Wonders is done. He is stuck in the Cataclysm, actually is close enough to the tower, is going to live. They did also see Mr. Krabs was nearby. There should be a package available for Corki now. Corki is going to be able to pick it up, and we do see Black Fate trying to get a flank, but is going to be spotted out by Katsumi there, so is not going to be able to accomplish anything. Corki now trying to find anyone, but it looks like TMT is aware of what that would entail, and they are running away. Kugert's still kind of searching.
Setting up for the dragon.
They do see everybody. They're able to push down the mid lane. Is DPS. TMT on the other side does not actually have a lot of vision on that side, so they don't know where DPS is going to be. I feel like that's an oversight.
Yeah, they don't get as much vision down, and anything they had does get cleared out. You know, we see. I'm trying to see how I think this next fight's gonna go. We've been seeing so much damage from Sad Dragon, man. But your bad connection has a third item. He goes in!
And he is able to avoid the stun, and now Red Strike is having to go out. The Petrifying Gaze did not petrify your bad connection. Does get a double kill, gets a hit with the Chains of Corruption. Black Fate trying to get away from Indefiance on the other side of the map. Was in the Cataclysm, is no longer in the Cataclysm. Kuger and your bad connection trying to stay alive.
Look at all these low targets. These are free.
Mr. Krabs able to get a big kill, but that is a triple kill for Sad Dragon Man. And now there's 2 members alive for TMT, 1 member alive for DPS, and that is going to be the Dragon's Soul.
Yeah, you know, Sad Dragon Man ultimately goes down, but it's so worth it. He saw all those low targets, is able to get in and just destroy them, and that soul. And Hextech is one of the most impactful souls in the game. You're able to get a bunch of extra poke, which Varus will take, as well as slows on the enemy team. It could be an engage tool, it can be a disengage tool, as well as 3 Hextech Dragons is a lot of extra attack speed to supplement a build for Sad Dragon Man that doesn't really have any. This is really, really looking good for TMT now. They're still down in gold, so this game isn't over yet. We're going to see a couple big, more impactful fights. It looked so good at first, really well played by your bad connection, but he's just not able to get enough damage down. He's very far behind, and a 5-item full build now for Sad Dragon Man. Very, very dangerous, Varus.
Just picked up that opportunity, is going to be hitting, I would say like a truck, but he was already hitting like a truck. I don't know what the next step up is.
He's hitting like a truck from one of those animes, you know, where it just sends into another dimension.
It's the Kyverus. But Katsumi looking to get on the Kugert. Kugert is able to get away from the chains for a second. That is going to be... Oh, Red Strike is nearby as well. I think Kugert is just going to not be long for the world.
Here. They sent the whole squad for him.
Red Strike is able to get the kill. Black Fate hanging out. Indefiance sees him, though. Is immediately going to go in. Is immediately going to go out. Is going to flash. Is going to dodge out the dredge line. That is a lot of damage. Stevie Wonders is stuck. Does get the ult out. Your bad connection takes a Q, and that is going to be enough to make him rethink the decision to be in this fight. The explosive cast from Mr. Krabs is going to push everybody away, do a little bit of damage, but not going to be enough. And you do see a lot of healing coming in Defiance, Red Strike, Sad Dragon Man, Wish, all strong enough that they are not worried. And there's going to be the teleport coming in from Katsumi on the last minion. Going to make it stay alive long enough for them to take that inhibitor tower. He's going to be looking to get on your back connection. It's not going to be enough damage to matter, but Defiance is going to go in. Your back connection is going to jump out. That is going to be the Chains of Corruption on the Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs is going to go down, and now with the inhibitor down, there's only 2 members alive, and they are maybe going to push. Nope, they're going to go ahead and take the Hex Gate. Oh no, they're stuck. They can't take the Hex Gate, but the Petrifying Gaze from Witch is going to stop everybody in their tracks for at least a little bit. Katsumi is going to go down. Black Fate goes in, Black Fate goes out, and now we do see everybody reset.
Aatrox had a bounty, and J4 didn't. Let the J4 die. Listen, in Defiance, you've played so well in games 2 and 3. We You're a jungler. We get it, man. You're good at the game. I need you to die there. I need you to die.
I
I'm
agree.
sorry.
You gotta let him die there. There's no reason to keep doing that.
And now Katsumi on a really long timer. Maybe that's why they didn't want their jungler on a timer, because Baron is coming up. Maybe fair to give up the shutdown gold, because you know that Katsumi's not your most impactful member at the moment.
Your bad connection just stuck. Is gonna use the exhaust, just hanging out. Actually gets a chunk of damage on the Indefiance. Indefiance under about 30% now.
Yeah,
so,
stoppable force.
Oh! That Q coming out from Varus. That's an arrow.
Varus doesn't even have boots anymore. He dropped boots for the GA, which is big this game. Not only is that going to help him survive all that burst because of 45 armor, and help him do a bunch of extra damage because of 55 AD, but now you gotta kill him twice.
We also do see a second Kanak Rooker coming in. There was already one on In Defiance. Now there's one on Wish. They're basically saying, if we just don't get bursted down, we will kill everyone, and the Conqueror would be enough to do it. So now we do see this posturing going on around the Baron pit.
The margins on this game are so tight. We are within a few hundred gold in the lead. They're gonna start.
Oh, it's being started. Corki has package. Is going to use it. Is going to go in the back line. Is going to try to take down Sad Dragon Man. But there's going to be exactly what we were talking about. Just enough with that GA. Lives through the package. Is not going to have a problem. Which is going to get engaged on, though. Your bad connection is going to be able to get the kill. So they do make it a little more even. There's no mid laner. But now we do see Katsumi coming in. Is going to get knocked away. Mr. Krabs is going to get the stun as well. Your bad connection needs to jump away. Oh no, he doesn't jump. He gets hit by the wall. He doesn't clear it. And now there are 4 members of TMT alive, 4 members of DPS dead, and Mr. Krabs is trying for his life.
This one's all over.
Yeah, it's not gonna matter.
What a great game to end on. This one was back and forth for so long. The lethality Varus, so impactful there. And you said it perfectly. If we just survive the burst, they don't have sustained damage. Your bad connection just never able to compete. I mean, he ended the game, he still had his starter item. He only had 4 items to the 6-item Varus. So they had no sustained damage as that game came to a close. Really, really well played from both teams, but TMT just had their finger on the pulse. Shout out to Kugert for 2 games where he's lost but done ridiculous damage anyways. Over 1,000 damage per minute in 2 losses. Don't give this guy poke champs in your future matchups. Eventually he is gonna run over a game.
Yeah, absolutely. That I mean, if this is solo queue, this is definitely one of those where you log off and you're like, wasn't my fault.
I mean, it would multiple times. It felt like a rocky moment, a bad play from TMT, but they ultimately played a better macro game, in my opinion. The Kazakhs was so good early. I think at one point he was like 7-1, but he ends the game 7-6. He just got walled too hard in the late game.
I don't know. It's crazy. It's almost like he doesn't scale and he's Feast of Famine. Like, I don't know. Somebody would say you don't pick the champion and competitive, but I don't know.
Etoe. This is a Kazakhs. Etoe will take a Kazakhs' biggest hater for a reason. We questioned it. We thought maybe we were gonna look like idiots once again, but no, we got proven right. For once, we do know what we're talking about. Kazakhs not quite the wave.
Absolutely not. Do not recommend. I hate to say that. I'm glad this has been taught, but I'm also glad this has been taught. It's unfortunately just does not do the thing.
Who's the interview? In Defiance, you can't ask that because I don't know. You guys all did really good.
Who the interview? In Defiance, so slow, low key, like so. Who you gonna interview?
Honestly, I think it's Sad Dragon Man.
Sad Dragonman had 2 really fed games, but I gotta say, In Defiance had 2 really controlling jungle games. Lots of objective control in both their wins. You guys made it hard.
I mean, that is true.
I'm throwing my hands up in the air. I'm not letting. I am not letting the chat come after me on this one. I refuse to make a decision.
Wow.
Current.
I refuse to make a decision. How is that? That's not any better.
If I make it, let chat decide. If it's chat decide, it's Indefiance has his whole fan club here. I think we got to give it to Indefiance. We got to give the people what they want.
Yeah, we'll give the people what they want.
That's how we keep the views.
Yeah, let's bring in Defiance in here. That's what everybody wants in the chat. And that way, it's not. I'm not making a decision, right? It's chat's fault.
Yeah, that's what the chat wants. Yeah, sure. I'll make the decision. What's good in Defiance?
When you try me with a sorry ass jungle like probably this is the result you're gonna get. It's honestly not that spicy. I just wanted to quote one of my favorite football memes. No. It was just it was a good game.
Oh my god, what a game that was! The Mighty Throws was almost more than a namesake, multiple times.
We take as much as we can give, you know. But I'm pretty hyped. There was a lot of things that happened, a lot of moving parts for us behind the scenes.
You guys you swapped around positions a little bit. You went back to the jungle where I have been informed you played in seasons past.
Yeah.
And the Volibear, I've seen Volibear come out like, listen guys, don't take offense to this, but In Defiance has been the only Volibear I have like actually cared about. Because everyone else, I've been so whelmed by Volibear this season. He like has good early engages and then he has nothing in late game team fights. But no, like continuously getting lots of good engages on the Volibear. Was that just that second game? You guys decided, okay, they did some crazy stuff in game 1. We're gonna settle it down and play comfort picks. Is that kind of what happened in game 2?
So like we were down our regular top laner. Mikolo came out and of course beasted it up in game 2. But like we obviously like we've only scrimmed I think like one time so far this season. So we're still pretty much ramping up. And then like losing our top laner for like the first 2 games was definitely a little difficult. So like what we ended up thinking about is the fact
when he came back too.
Well, like yeah, well I mean like I fucked him over. That's on me. I don't care. Like we put him in the Gragas Aatrox matchup, and then I did that stupid EQ towards Kha'Zix to just like int and then make it another double kill. That was me, all me. My bad. But the way I see it is like they I think DPS had really good draft prep. I think we also realized that Black F8 was playing like Prabhu was playing actually pretty well. So like when we realized he was also playing well, and then as a team they were like very locked in game 1, we felt like we just had to change something up, especially because like we didn't draft prep for them banning like 480 carries, and then also like our Austin Sad Dragon Man, he wasn't really feeling that well. So like like shot calling was a little bit hard because I mean there was one point where he's trying to help shot call in like game 3 and he like did a coughing fit for like 30 seconds straight. So we decided to just kind of like switch it up a bit, and then the funny thing is we just like looked and we saw Volibear was OP and kept talking about it for a while. And I'm just like, honestly, a Volibear is an El Clasico for me. I don't know how many times like I've had Etoe interview me when I get a Volibear game. So like I've literally ended a game in 12 minutes in BTL on Volibear. So I'm just not too surprised. I'm just really proud of my team, the mental resilience to come back, and do that. Like our top laner came back, had to just deal with me utterly fucking over his lane, like with Gragas top after being in traffic, like watching an accident on a bridge for like 2 hours while trying to get home. Also sounds awful. Our top laner game 2 with those Darius hooks over the like wall. Those Darius like pulls were nuts. And then like honestly like I don't care what the stat line says, but Cassiopeia game 3, there were so many crucial like ults turnarounds.
Oh yeah, we were
like
talking about that.
Even to end the game, right? Like he sit there and he stopped the backs, which allowed me and Katsumi to like just go top and then just finish him off and then just finish the game. I think in general we just played like with a lot of resilience, and honestly I feel like DPS is always in for like bangers of games one way or another. And like I honestly think that if we didn't randomly like level up, like DPS was going to show and be locked in and constantly get better and better week by week. So like, I mean, I'm happy we beat them because I think this DPS was pretty locked in.
Yeah, it was that last game was like you said, definitely a banger. That's I've been asking for. I mentioned it between game 1 and game 2. I was like, I've just seen so many like one-sided tilts. I want to see like one like back and forth slugfest. And man, did you guys deliver on that today? Thank you.
Yeah, we're not like the mighty stomps. We're the mighty throws. So
Anything to say to your fans? We have a question from the chat.
I love y'all. Thank you for supporting me after the game 1 absolute shellacking that we received.
So my question is, what did y'all think of? Where did y'all think Ivern was? Did you know Ivern was mid whenever Ivern was chosen in draft? And what did you think? Okay, so you knew it was Ivern mid, so you saw that in prep.
The thing is like part of it is we've seen it in prep. There's some of it in the match history, I believe, of Quager and whatnot. And then Quager is like also just a beast. Like this man has like the champion ocean of oceans of like that's not even a mid laner, but you're still playing in mid. And like we actually literally had no answer for Ivern mid. It was just absolutely insane. They were just all over the map. It was just nuts. And then like generally we always expect like Prabhu to either play engage assassin or bruiser. I think it fits his playstyle a lot more. I think it's like when he feels he has control on the map is generally what we expect. And I think with Ivern it would really conflict with the way he wants to play the game. So I think we kind of expected it.
Tried to add Ivern to his pool last season. I remember that. But yeah.
Plus Mr. Krabs on Gragas, man, he makes games feel fucking unwinnable. That dude's fucking absolutely cracked on Gragas.
God.
The Gragas and the Aatrox matchup did not go well for Aatrox today.
I blame me still. It's also not a good matchup, but man, I made it so much worse when I made it like -3. I tried to make it a little bit better with an early counter gank, but I wasn't quite there in time from trying to like hide from the vision. And so it was just it was very interesting. But I mean, I always heavily respect DPS. I swear I scrim DPS all the time in past seasons, so I don't know. I just have nothing but respect for them.
Understandable.
I'm just happy we won against them, to be honest. I really feel like they would have came out strong against any team.
Yeah, they came out with some spice for you in game 1 with that Ivern mid. I wonder how many teams watch this VOD or watch this stream and know about the Ivern mid, or if we get to see it again. We'll see. Usually teams do pretty good prep for things that end up in match results. But any other shoutouts? Any other questions? OldSadBoy, SuperBr?
I do not have anything. Y'all covered everything I wanted to ask.
I mean, I guess I saw in the chat Varus pocket pick out of
Sad Dragon Man.
out of Sad Dragon Man, and I know he's not your guys' main ADC. But I think it's interesting to see Varus as a pocket pick. He's just kind of meta, right? But he did make it look kind of gross.
I can tell you this much: like we haven't gotten to scrim much, but I have gotten to play like quite a few games like with them. I have never seen him play Varus ever.
Oh, that was a surprise. It's a surprise tool for later.
It's deep in the pocket, but. Ironically, this is something that like this is actually closer to the team comp I think we were planning early on in the season, but I've been playing a lot of AD carry lately. I've been performing pretty decent, and then like Austin's pretty Sad Dragon Man's pretty comfortable also in the jungle. Like we've had pretty good carry performances off of him as well. So we're still just finding our identity, and it's one of those things where like I think the fact that that we basically went off of like no practice on ADC and jungle, and then we were able to swap the roles and then both perform was really good. Because like I was kind of worried, especially like not playing jungle for a while, it's a bit rough. And then with him being sick, playing AD carry while trying to like cough and sneeze the way he was, like I mean his positioning was phenomenal. He kept his flash ghost. Man was just a beast. And I honestly like the comms were great, and I'm really happy with how my team performed. I think we performed very well today.
Yeah, no, you guys did great.
Yes.
So I've got no more questions.
I got nothing.
Do you have any? I mean, I would say if you have any more shoutouts, but that was pretty much just a bunch of shoutouts. So, yeah, man, I love this guy, Sad Dragon Man, in the chat. Higgokins, glad everyone came through for that match there. We do have one more match for week 2 on Wednesday. We do have the matchup between Cat Cowboys and the Frost Lions. That'll be Wednesday at 8 p.m. EST. So make sure that you guys show up for that. And then next week, let's see who you guys playing next week. Next week we have the Mighty Throws versus Large Skill Disparity. Have you watched any of LSD's games? Is he still in here?
Yeah, no, I'm still
Okay,
still
yeah.
here. I'm
Okay,
still here. I just usually try to like be if I'm typing because I don't want the keyboard to be heard. But no, we've watched their games. You know, like I think in general their games have been bangers one way or another, and you know I think it just comes down to preparing and making sure like our draft is on point and that we figure out our identity because I definitely enjoy the players that I'm playing with, and I think if we figure out completely like our identity and then like draft a bit, throw in some more scrims, and you know we got a stew cooking.
Okay. Alright, so they'll be ready for next week, is what I hear as the time goes on. All right, we're going to throw it to a host of. I see Prod the Prince. I was just playing Smite with him earlier before I came on the cast, and he's live. Another fellow community member of the Black Twitch League, Black Twitch at least back in the day, and also may be who I'm going to DreamCon with in the summer. So may give me some lodging there. So gonna throw it over to Prod the Prince. If anyone else is going to DreamCon, by the way, let me know, because my friend failed to get his ticket, so I am currently solo bolo on the way to DreamCon in July. So anyone else going, let me know. In the meantime, we're gonna throw it over to Prod the Prince, now currently playing NBA 2K24, which reminds me the Mavericks got a fantastic win today over over the Denver Nuggets. Kyrie Irving is an absolute beast. Love watching that man play. The absolute best. All right. And
Shout out Kyrie game winner.
yeah. Shout out Kyrie game winner. And then whip left-handed hook for the free throw line, by the way. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and throw it over to Prod the Prince. We'll see you guys on Wednesday.
I still can't get over the